Welcome to the Foster's Cup Grand Final. It's Richmond versus Essendon clashing in a final for the first time in 50 years. The Bombers and Kevin Sheedy are trying to make it 4 nighttime championships. Thousands of fans have crammed into Waverley Park and they've witnessed already some wonderful entertainment. Everything from a hovercraft display to one of the best fireworks displays you can ever hope to see. One question, however, remains unanswered. Who will be the nighttime champions, the Foster's Cup champions in 1993? Will the Richmond revival continue? Out come the boys, led by Jeff Hogg onto Waverley Park. Or will the baby Bombers triumph? It's all coming your way on AFL Today. Yes, it certainly is all coming your way here at Waverley Park. Good evening, everyone, wherever you may be watching, and welcome to the grand final of the 1993 Foster's Cup. And it's only March, but we have a fabulous finals atmosphere and a great night for football with two sides who fully deserve to be in the finals action. Two improving sides. Remember, of course, the Tigers disappointing last year. They finished 13th, and Essendon struggled too to finish in 8th position on the ladder. The crowd, fantastic. Probably 50,000 inside and outside. Well, there are still thousands of fans trying desperately to get in before the first bounce of the ball in 5 or 6 minutes' time. Let's have a look at how both of these sides, however, made it through to the final. Richmond have been most impressive. They demolished Sydney by 80 points, and then they accounted for Hawthorn, last year's champions, by 40 points, and in their final game they beat the Lions in a close one, a thriller by just 6 points. Essendon too have looked the goods. The baby Bombers have whipped Brisbane by 28. They defeated Adelaide by 19. And then they accounted for the West Coast Eagles in a most impressive display by 20 points. Coaches and captains for 93, a new look at Richmond. John Northey has been joined by Jeff Hogg, while at Essendon, Kevin Sheedy at the helm once again, and Bomber Thompson is his skipper. Let's have a brief look at the squads. As I said, two young sides that fully deserve to be here. For the Tigers, well, it's good to see Dale Waitman, the veteran. Dale Waitman back after a bout of pneumonia and also an Achilles problem. The ones to watch for the Tigers, Stuart Maxfield and their other runners, Lambert, Knights, Campbell, all very good on ballers, while up forward, of course, you've got the ever-dangerous Jeff Hogg. Essendon, too, have looked extremely good, particularly Gavin Wanganeen. His first game back last week against the Eagles, just about a best-on-ground performance. Mark Harvey has been solid across half-back. Alessio is going to have a big job in the ruck with Paul Seminaut, but it promises to be a great contest between two very, very competitive sides. For these young Tigers, well, this is all new territory for them. Probably only Dale Waitman has any feeling at all of what it's like to play in a final. I would doubt whether any of these boys, as far as Richmond are concerned, have played in front of a crowd this size, and same too with many of the baby Bombers. The formalities are about to continue here at Waverley. Look at that crowd now. That gives you a bird's eye view of just how many people are crammed in here. Here are the formalities now. Let's go down to the ground and Mike Williamson.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, would you please welcome our guest artist for tonight, Lisa Edwards. Lisa is probably better known to you at this stage as a backing singer for John Farnham, but believe me, she is becoming a star in her own right, nationally and internationally. In fact, later next month, she will have her debut album launched here in Australia, and it's called Through the Hoop. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, would you please stand for the national anthem to be performed by Lisa Edwards.
and Advance Australia Fair. The preliminaries have been completed. We've got two young sides raring to get at each other. We'll take a break and then be back with all the action in the 1993 Fosters Grand Final. Welcome back to Waverley. Our commentators for this first quarter, Ian Robertson, Bernie Quinlan and Drew Morphett.
Thank you, Sandy, and just underway by less than a minute in the first quarter of the grand final. Essendon going left to right, and here's Gary O'Donnell with a free kick outside of half forward. Up towards full forward, mark to Ridley. First scoring chance for the Bombers. Todd Ridley, the ex-West Australian, who's played forward and back during the series in '93.
Yes, he started off at centre-half back last week against the West Coast Eagles, playing on Glenn Jakovic, who was moved up to the forward line later in the game. He can play both ends equally as well. A very promising player.
First score of the night. What will it be? Just about over the goal post. It's full points.
So the Bombers off to a great start. They did very well last week across midfield. Again, they've won the ball out of the middle, where Schaefer will have a lot of trouble tonight doing the ruck work against Alessio or Somerville, the two big players. Somerville doing the ruck work to start off for the Bombers. And there's a player who kicked that goal, Todd Ridley, a terrific player. He really throws himself for those marks. This time he took the mark, a strong mark in front. There's the Richmond ruckman, Schaefer, and he's up against a very tough duo in Somerville and Alessio.
On the bench for Richmond, we have Waitman, Herneman, Bauer and Menegola. And for Essendon, you can see them there. Kickett, Philandia, Masiti and Cransberg. We've lost a footy with the first kick of the night.
Well, there's a very, very big crowd here at Waverley to watch this game in near perfect conditions. Just a little bit of breeze blowing to the far side of the ground as the umpire restarts play. The umpires are Hayden Kennedy and Darren Goldspink. Chance for Somerville, could have nearly been penalised for that. Attempted kick there was by Schaefer, but a free kick has been picked out. It was looking like Knights, but now it's Ian Herman. Herman's kick to right half forward. Oh, that could have nearly been a free kick against Wallace. Play goes on. Harvey, the shepherd. Wanganeen, too heavy was Turner. And in comes Wallace. Wanganeen looks a little hurt, and Turner's being booked by umpire Goldspink for elbow or forearm too high.
A very heavy tackle when Wanganeen was down over the ball trying to pick it up. There he is. He's reporting him for striking. We can hear the umpire saying that. It was a very crude tackle. Wanganeen probably best on the ground against the West Coast Eagles. Played a magnificent game in his first match in the Foster's Cup Series. A terrific young player, Gavin Wanganeen.
Wanganeen's kick goes near the wing. Somerville can't take the mark. Richmond with numbers. Herman bumped over the boundary line by Grenvold, and the boundary umpire will throw it in. There's Ian Herman, Mark Thompson in the foreground, and Kevin Sheedy in the coach's box. It's a big night for Sheedy and John Northey.
Kevin Sheedy played 251 games with Richmond. Tonight he's trying to beat them. Here's Herman with a kick up towards full forward. Hogg underneath it. Oh, Nace runs onto it. Keeps it going forward for Jackson. On the ground. Regains his footing. Snap. This is close. And right on the line, a chance for a mark to the Tigers. Francis.
It's an exciting young prospect, Drew, was Matthew Francis. He's just a little injury prone at this early stage of his career.
A terrific mark under pressure there, Robbo, wasn't it?
Yeah, great effort.
Yes, a really good young player, this fellow.
What a view we have of this shot for goal.
Well,
he hooks it badly for a behind.
so some pretty heavy work here early in this match. A good bump there from Dean Wallace. A very fair hip and shoulder.
Well, both coaches, Bernie, I think Kevin Sheedy knows the value of playing very good tight football, and John Northey over his 5 or 6 years with Melbourne showed us that he gets his charges well committed.
Yes, he sure did. He had a very good record at Melbourne.
Manton's kick in. Francis just misjudges it, goes past Spawn. There's a chance for Bremen. His kick into the centre is very good. Howard takes the mark. He's perhaps too far out to score, Johnny Howard. Onto that favoured left foot, kicks it high, close to the square. Punched by Jackson. Gather was by Hills. Manton, kick smothered off the boot. Chris Danaher in the picture there. Ball goes over for a boundary throw in, around about 40 metres from the Richmond goal. It's Neil Danaher, of course, who has just been appointed the reserves coach at Essendon. Turner doing the ruck work, high over the pack. Thompson caught, well run down by Campbell. Ball spills free. Spawn caught by Maxfield. Ball trundled back near the centre of the ground. Herman desperate. In goes Mercuri. Herman will receive the free kick. A push in the back, says the umpire.
On the line! The line! The line!
A sharp edge to both these teams at the start of the game. Good penetration and the kick by Herman. Jackson in front. Wallace with a punch, playing his first game of the Foster's Cup. The ball goes out of bounds and we'll have a throw in the forward pocket.
Yes, Dean Wallace picking up Stephen Jackson. I think Glenn Manton has a job on Jeff Hogg and his problems last week against the West Coast Eagles early with Peter Sumich.
Another chance for the Tigers. Turner is 41. Through went Denham. Lambert did pretty well. He's been a star in this series. Shot for goal here by Campbell is good. What a goal! Tigers by a point.
Yes, great start to this match. I think this will be a very good contest as we have a look at this in replay. Tap down, not conclusive there, but Lambert always in the middle of the pack. Hand pass out from Jackson. That's a wonderful snap there from Campbell. Terrific on his right foot.
So the difference, just one behind in favour of the Tigers. But I think more importantly, they've settled down pretty well for a group of what we classify as inexperienced as far as finals are concerned. Harvey takes the free kick. Kicks it nicely to right half forward. Good lead, good mark. Excellent mark taken by Hurd.
That could be 50.
Severe Brian Lee. And he's going to get 50, as Bernie Quinlan has suggested.
Well, I can't see the reason for that. I know it's good to be physical early in a match, Robbo, but from that area of the ground, about 70 metres out, he will give Hurd
very miserable 50 metres.
Very miserable. I was just having a look at that, Robbo. There's a mark, a clear mark. Lee's behind, drags him to the ground, and then jumps on top of him. Unnecessary play from Brian Lees, right in front of the umpire.
Well, Hurd, head straight over the footy, but he kicks poorly. James Hurd, who's shown us plenty. And we see a little bit of a how do you do as the players get ready to receive the kick in. But James Hurd has been an excellent player since making his debut for the Bombers last year.
Big climb in the middle of the pack by Howard. Couldn't take the mark. O'Donnell for Essendon. Kicks up towards the forward pocket. Tigers will be happy to see this one out. Or actually, they keep it in through Pratura. Off the ground, Mercury. No distance. And run over the line eventually by Paul Bullis, a recruit from Woodville West Torrens in Adelaide, taken in the November draft. Huge crowd here for this grand final of the Foster's Cup.
I'd say, Drew, it'll probably be the biggest crowd we've seen at a Foster's Cup grand final ever.
I think so. Knights, the defensive halfback, up towards centre wing. 3 against 3. Man in front. Terrific mark by Francis. Not paid, and now a free kick for a push in the back.
Let him up! Let him up! Sean! Play on!
He comes backwards to Campbell. One of the leading possession winners in the competition last year. Oh, Jackson should have gobbled that one.
Well, he'd be very disappointed in that effort, Stephen Jackson, and there he tells us all about it. But that was a bad miss. He was 5 metres in front of Dean Wallace.
And he had a chance just a few minutes ago too, and he was a bit disappointed that he didn't grab hold of it. Thompson, the kick is astray. The mark is taken strongly by Lees. Nearly run down, but gets his kick wide to the right wing position. Now Maxfield, excellent player, Maxfield. Strong kick to centre half forward, no mark taken. In there was Wallace. Oh, grabbed by the leg was Hills, but play goes on. Francis, then Thompson for Essendon. Clear for Harvey. Harvey's kick looks for Long. Grabbed when he didn't have the football. Perhaps a little ticky Touchwood, but the kick was certainly there. Long will take it. Long's kick. Out wide, Spawn. Sweeping onto the football. Spawn's kick inside 50 metres. And that's a great effort by Hurd.
He's a very good overhead, isn't he?
Very slippery.
Along with Ridley, they're 2 Essendon players who can take great overhead marks.
And a young player is James Hurd, and already quite impressive in the Essendon team. His second chance, he missed with the previous one. But this looks pretty good, is it? Just offline. So Hurd with 2 behinds to his name. There's Lees, his opponent for the evening. Well, at this stage anyway. 13.5 minutes left, and Essendon lead by a point.
Kick in by Patura. Well outside the 50. Somerville using body work, but the path was cleared for Schaefer. Off the ground goes Lees. Up forward of centre wing. Harvey meets it and goes for the boundary line mark. Harvey. Essendon's best and fairest last year. Not too many veterans in this game. Harvey one of them, and there's another, Dale Waitman, the real veteran for the Tigers, starting the game on the bench. 4 on the interchange bench in the Foster's Cup. Kevin Sheedy, for one, would like to see that go into the day competition. Here's Wanganeen. Nash with him. The ball out of bounds at half forward for Richmond.
Go Tigers!
Tigers fans have come out of the woodwork. They haven't been in a grand final since '82. Jackson. Straight back to the boundary line, and another throw in. Jackson, one of the imports, came from the West Coast Eagles. A real group of youngsters in the Tigers lineup. Plenty in Essendon as well. Tap forward by Knights. Lambert, great gather. Just about the player of the series so far. Breman, centering kick. It's marked by Thompson, the Essendon captain. Away to Harvey.
Harvey, who usually gives the player up the field every chance, and he doesn't make any mistake here. Puts it out in front of Mercury. Chasing him is Howard. Oh, well done by Johnny Howard. Well done by Mercury too. He was beaten for it. Down goes Hurd. Ball goes over. Boundary throw in. Some good work there, Drew, by both players. Howard in the first place being out position, and then eventually by Hurd. Big thump. Goes in the direction of Lee. Spawn perhaps being a bit too vigorous, but the umpire gives a signal for a boundary throw in. Kevin Sheedy. I don't think he'd be too worried at this stage. Both sides still finding each other out. Now the free kick was Richmond's from the ruck contest. Advantages with Knights. Knights' kick. Oh, I tell you what, looked as though he nearly had it. I thought he'd nearly had it anyway. But Essendon team up beautifully across that full back line. Harvey takes it from Wanganeen. Harvey. Oh, brilliant running by Wanganeen. Up through right half back into the centre. Good kick too. Somerville marks.
Somerville sweeps a hand pass about 25 metres up the ground. Grenville caught by Freeman, but beats him. Goes in with the hand pass. Trouble for you, O'Donnell. Drops it in Maxfield's tackle. Socket forward by Lees. Centre circle, Thompson. Out wide he goes to Danaher. Back to Denham. Pressure all over the ground. Denham's kick not bad under pressure. It hits the floor. Down goes McCurry. Herman. Hurd has been terrific. Knocked forward by Ridley to Long. Long only 25 metres out. Puts it wide for Buick. He hooks back and kicks a great goal. Bombers have doubled the Tigers' score.
Yes, well, terrific play there by Michael Long, the player on screen. He creates so many opportunities for the Bombers. Always looking for a teammate in better position. James Hurd gets a hand pass out. A pretty scrappy passage of play there. Michael Long maybe could have went for goal himself and fed it out to the running player in Buick.
Well, Essendon lead by 7 points. Their goal kickers, Ridley and Buick. Richmond's Wayne Campbell. Lambert gets it clear, but it's really to Essendon's advantage. Lovely pick up by Mercury. Little kick, not bad. Looking for Ridley, but a free kick back.
A shepherding infringement, Robbo. So it's a free kick to Richmond.
To be taken by Campbell. Very important player for Richmond is Wayne Campbell. High kick in near the centre. Turner can't take the mark. Harvey tries to tap it for Wanganeen. And Wanganeen, if he's this popular with the umpires at this stage, I'd like to have a couple of bob each way the Brownlow medal draw.
Wouldn't be a bad bet. All-Australian last year. Essendon's only representative in that team. Spawn up to full forward, almost to Ridley. Alessio, the agility of a rover, to Ridley, who kicks the goal. Ridley's got 2. And Steve Alessio, who spent most of his younger years playing basketball, did it like... that was terrific, wasn't it?
Yes, he's very agile and mobile for a big man, Alessio. 199 centimetres, moving like a rover there. He's got so many options on the forward line, Essendon. John Northey. Oh, terrific. Yeah, they've got great skills, these young Bombers.
So back with the big men near the centre. Schaefer gets the tap out, taken away by O'Donnell. Quickly gets the football onto his boot. Goes into a vacant area at right half back, taken over by Lees. Gee, you could really be penalised. No.
Be a tough call, Robbo, that. Brian Lees really had very few options, didn't he? A couple of Bombers sweating on him, and that's about all he could do.
Well, I have my heart in my mouth. I don't know about the players, but sometimes they do get penalised for that sort of thing. Or attempted kick off the ground by Long. Young runs into Herman. Long, well tackled. Knights. Very polished player. One grab man is Matthew Knights. Kick to the half-forward area. Jackson falling over.
Yes,
He's got to improve a little bit, doesn't he?
That man again, though, Wanganeen, right on his hammer, affecting that spoil.
Peter Philandia on the bench there for the Bombers as a boundary throw-in takes place just in Richmond's forward half.
There's Wanganeen, Robbo's favourite. Knights. Knights grab. Will take the free kick. Beat Wayne Campbell by 1 vote last year in Richmond's best and fairest.
So he's bulked up a bit, doesn't he?
Kick by Knights. Not great penetration. Hogg at the back. Jackson, can he keep this in? Runs out of room about 15 metres around from the behind post. Stephen Jackson kicked 7 goals in the Tigers' opening game against the Swans, including 5 in 1 quarter. This is Turner against Wallace. Naish buried, attacked by Hills, and ball out of play.
Well, there's not much of him, Chris Naish, but he really is a goal sneak. His kick it. Cransburg on the bench. Little kick out. Thompson for Essendon. Good kick. Gee, there's some space here. Bounces nicely for Spawn and gets around onto his favourite side. He's got plenty of time to lope away and kick it into the left forward pocket. And in the finish, really wasn't quite as good as what Kieran Spawn would have thought.
No, he blazed away. They really should have made better of that scoring opportunity.
He's got a slightly awkward kicking action.
It didn't come off the boot at all well, did it? I think really in the end he was just trying to kick the goal rather than worry about the forwards, and it just tumbled off the boot.
Alessio and Bullis. That's Barry Young, number 20 for Richmond. Michael Long. Ball goes to the back. Maxfield. Just harassed a little bit there. Through comes Knights. Kick off the ground. Back towards Hills. Hand pass for Harvey. He's in turn be chopped off by Bremen. Just slipping a little bit there, Todd Bremen. And the Essendon player Grenvold infringing, so Bremen will take the free kick just near centre half back. A nice kick, but a little short. Great courage, Harvey.
Yes, he's a wonderful player at half back. Played there all of 92, of course. Played every game, best and fairest for the Bombers.
Big Grenvold should have taken that mark, and lucky now to get the free kick. Up to centre half forward. Oh, roving by Long. He puts the hand pass up for Hurd. Off the ground goes Hurd and kicks a goal. Well, he had 2 misses from set shots, but he kicked a soccer. And the Bombers are 4-2 to 1-1.
As Grenvold has a rest, and he's been replaced by Joe Masudi, number 52 for the Bombers. Let's have a look at the replay of this. Michael Long again involved in this passage of play. Seems to be playing across half forward, Michael Long. Very constructive player. Out in front of Hurd. He couldn't take control of it. Just got the boot of the ball and tumbled it through for a good goal for the Bombers.
4-2 to 1-1. 7 3/4 minutes left in the first quarter. Tigers have got some thinking. In front of them, Knights takes the ball away. High kick. Taken by Harvey. Already an effective player for Essendon across the half-back line.
They're looking very good at the moment, the Bombers, aren't they? Early in the season, they played a great game against Adelaide. Excellent against the West Coast Eagles. We've got a good blending of experience and youth in this side.
Campbell. Just off in a little bit of trouble. No, he's able to collect the footy. And kicks it in towards centre half forward. No mark taken. Off the ground, Thompson rebounds. Here's a chance for Jackson. Ever casual, but he does it well. On to Turner. Naish, the goal sneak. Naish gets the goal. Well done by Chris Naish, and boy, Richmond needed that. 4-2 Essendon, 2-1 the Tigers.
Yes, a badly needed goal by the Tigers. Plenty of spirit in this Tigers side. Had a pretty ordinary 1992, ending up 13th on the ladder, and only 5 wins under their belt, the Tigers, in 1992. They've certainly come out with some spirit at the start of this season, 1993, the Foster's Cup. A couple of great wins, a great win over Hawthorn. And Chris Naish was very good in the crunch against Fitzroy.
26 plays 13. Just under 7 minutes to go to quarter time. Still a big crowd outside trying to get in, we hear. Bremen on the turn, a high ball to centre half forward. Wanganeen, fantastic. Kick by Wanganeen is perfect, out to Hills. He's had a superb series on the wing for the Bombers. Kick by Hills, up short of half forward. Buick slides in after it. Knocked forward by Herman. Lambert, but it was just tipped away from him. Mercury, number 45. Good running by Thompson. Kick by Thompson up to the 50. Somerville, under pressure, comes down to free. Hurried kick. Knights drops what he should have taken there. And gives away a free kick. Masiti up to centre half forward. Huge pack. It spills to the back. Free missed it. Buick's hand pass to Long. Long kicks the goal. Oh, it's touched. Looked a certainty, but getting back there to touch it was Bullis. And Long actually only gave it about 25% power. I think he'd written it down in the book for himself.
Yes, maybe just a little bit too casual there, Michael Long.
Wouldn't want to watch the replay, I don't think.
No,
Bernie,
he wouldn't be happy with that. I don't think Kevin Sheedy would be. It just
the
goes
video
to show,
replays at Sheeds on midnight one night and show that up.
yeah, it just goes to show you cannot relax at any stage in this game.
Bullis, with his eyes right on the football, just failed to take the chest mark. Lambert working very hard at ground level. Handball astray. Under pressure though, O'Donnell, his kick in towards centre half forward. Nearly gathered by Somerville, taken away there by Campbell. Well done. Oh, that was the old flick pass, wasn't it? Maxfield, kick off the ground. Striving hard was Francis. Knights, very, very skillful. Away for Maxfield. Natural left footer, Maxfield. Kick, oh, terrific performance by Wanganeen. Man, oh man, for a teenager.
I'm with you, Robbo. If he doesn't win the Brownlow this year, it'll be 1 year in the pretty near future, I would say. He's a magnificent player, Wanganeen.
Punch goes back for Wallace. Oh, down he goes. Good tackle, Jackson. Cleaned up by Naish. Kick it towards full forward mark taken by Manton. Bombers out of a tight spot temporarily.
Manton's kick up short of centre wing. Somerville can't mark, still after it. Herman, ex-Carlton player, on the turn inside the 50. Chance for the Tigers. Hogg interfered with and will take the free kick against Manton.
Well, he positioned himself beautifully, Jeff Hogg, in front of Manton, who's not a tall player. And I think he was holding the Guernsey there, as we will probably see this in replay, just briefly, but he was holding Jeff Hogg. But the positioning was a very important aspect of that contest.
Gary!
Tigers' new skipper this year.
Gary!
Beautiful kick. Well, it's living up to expectations this game.
Yes, well, they fought back very well, the Tigers. And Jeff Hogg, it's good to see him playing at full forward. In his best position, no doubt. Let's have a look at this free kick again. Hogg, who's kicked almost 250 goals in his VFL, AFL career, just getting in front of Manton. There you could see him holding the Guernsey there with the left hand. And no doubt about that free kick.
Well, Hogg kicked the goal, but Ian Herman did some good work in there to get the football to the Richmond skipper. And the Tigers trail by just 8 points. Away goes Schaefer. Gets his left foot to it. Just sees Wanganeen. The bounce was awkward. Naish, can he get his second? No, he hooks the kick. And the Tiger supporters in this vast crowd.
I think they'll be calling out, why didn't he get it over the top to the skipper there, Jeff Hogg? Maybe panicked just slightly there, Chris Naish. That was the play that could have been on. Just could have drawn Glenn Manton out, and just an easy one over the top.
Risky conveyance here, but well done by Mercedes in the finish. Sorry, Bernie, but that kick was very short by Wanganeen. He's able to make up for it and kicks it further afield where Chris Danaher has marked at left half back. Play on, says the umpire. Danaher's kick towards centre wing. O'Donnell can't take it. Hurd, skillfully, nice hand pass too. Mercury, just growing in stature with every game he plays, and Spawn has marked. Essendon have done well to work the ball up to the half-forward area. Spawn's kick goes across that line, where the mark is taken by Ridley, and I like him better in the forward line than in defence.
Well, that was good work also there from Buick, keeping his opponent out of the contest, giving Todd Ridley the free run at the ball. Here we see Ridley, a very skilled player. And that was good work. We just saw that from Buick on the edge of the picture there, keeping his man out of that contest.
Well, Ridley has kicked two. He's kicking from about 40 metres out. Gets the distance, a very long kick, but it's off to the right. So behind results in that Todd Ridley shot for goal. And Essendon proceed. 4-4, Richmond 3-2. Essendon by 8 points.
Well, I'm not kidding. If there are people still trying to get in, by the time they all get in, there'll be 70,000 here. Punch from behind, gives Spawn a chance. Beaten Maxfield so far. Maxfield comes back at this stage. Bullis, untidy but effective, and got a hand to what looked like a certain goal to Michael Long earlier on. I don't know whether they've given up or whether they're still trying to get in, but this is a huge crowd. Alessio on the turn. Did well there, Schaefer. Long in the forward pocket. Somerville climbing early. Man in front takes it. Howard. Free kick. Patura, who was moved out off Ridley, went on to Hurd, and Hurd immediately kicked a goal. Straight up the centre of the ground. Thompson marks. The front edge of the centre square. We have under 2 minutes to go to quarter time. Kicked by Thompson. Somerville can't mark again, hands to the ball. There's Bullis. Danaher up on the forward line. Alessio in playing a role. McCurry off the ground. Sweeps it to Hurd. Shepherding by Denham. Play on. Kick by Hurd. Up to the goal square. Long tries to shepherd it through.
In the back, Drew.
Gives away the free.
Yeah, it's a little blatant, that one. Free kick against Michael Long. Right in the middle of Barry Young's back, as we can see this in replay. Very early. Pushed him out.
Thanks, Mick.
So it's Barry Young to take the free kick right in the goal square. Richmond doing well in this first term. Good kick by Young. Covers about 45 metres. Hills is there for Essendon. Tackled by Turner. On the bottom of the pack there is Patura. And the Essendon player, according to the umpire, hasn't got it. And it's Paul Hills. Just 20 years of age. Kick in towards centre half forward. Taken by Buick. Beautifully collected. Spawn. One grab is important. O'Donnell's kick smothered. Richmond defence under a bit of pressure. Howard able to get his foot to it. Bounces just inside the boundary line. So we'll have a throw in about 65 metres around for the Essendon goal. Bombers lead 4-4 to 3-2.
Sorry, Ian, a couple of very important smothers in this first quarter by the Tigers. That one by Ian Herman, who's got the tagging job on Gary O'Donnell.
Here's Knights trying to weave his way through. Fantastic. Lambert up towards centre wing. Naish. Wanganeen doing the job again. Well, Wanganeen's had 7 kicks already in his back pocket. From the back pocket, and 3 marks. And you really start attacking in football these days from the last line, if not the second last line, even the last line of defence. Here's another chance for the Tigers with just seconds remaining. On the run here, Francis. Poor kick.
Shocking kick, wasn't it? He's apologising to Jeff Hogg, but really, there's no pressure coming from any Essendon player. He's 5 metres clear. He should have done better with that kick.
Manton's kick is high, up near the wing. Herman and O'Donnell. Boundary throw-in will take place. So quarter time very near now as the players mingle for this boundary throw-in. Just forward of centre wing for the Tigers. Big punch from Thompson over the top of the pack there. And it goes back over for another throw-in. Interested spectators, it's a perfect evening for football. A little breezy, but conditions magnificent. Francis, Bremen, now chance for Masidi. Well done, but Lees chops it off. Lees kick, siren sounds. Quarter time in the grand final of the Foster's Cup for 1993. Essendon lead 28 to Richmond 20.
And there he is again, Nick Walsh.
Remember Nick Walsh? The youngster kicked 8 goals for Essendon in the Foster's Cup semi-final of 1987. He would play only 11 AFL games and kick 1 goal. But in this match, he helped the Bombers record a 108-point win over the West Coast Eagles.
Whoever wins tonight could take an outstanding Ansett holiday at the end of the season. What better way to fly? Tonight's winners $55,000, and either Essendon or Richmond will eventually net $104,500 for their Foster's Cup action. It's quarter time though, still a long way to go. The Bombers lead 4-4-28. Richmond are 3-2-20 as we go down to the boundary line. And welcome to our telecast, Gerard Healy, as some people decide to head home, Gerard.
Yes, well, that's true, Sandy. They can't get into the ground, but just a quick update on the wind. No advantage. The wind blowing straight across the ground towards the members, so pretty even at the present time. I thought it interesting, Sheedy's use of Somerville in that quarter. Started him in the ruck, and McCurry was at centre-half forward. After the bounce, McCurry went on as an extra runner. Somerville went to centre-half forward. It appears that Alessio has that job this quarter, though.
For the second quarter, Peter McKenna, Don Scott and Peter Landy.
Thank you, Sandy. Herman goes down at the bottom of the pack, and we'll see another bounce. The debris, of course, you can see on the ground, little bits of the fireworks display still there. We saw plenty of fireworks in the opening quarter, Don, didn't we?
Yeah, it's very intense, Peter, but that's what you expect in a grand final. Both sides, as we naturally expect, to be pumped up.
Richmond opening a little nervously. It started to get their act together late in the first quarter. Knights, dual best and fairest weather at punt road, slaps the ball ahead of him. Chris Danaher farms out a hand pass. I don't think O'Donnell would have been too happy with that. Kick it off the ground. Masiti gives him a bit of a hand. Ooh. Now O'Donnell, an errant hand pass, snaffled well. Michael Long, who was brilliant close to goal in the opening quarter, just runs out of room here. Lambert gleefully accepting his hand pass. Alessio won't catch him. He lumbers after him. Lambert gets his kick. Campbell, the high flyer, kicked Richmond's first goal. Knights on the boundary line. Grab. Appear to be not in possession. No free kick. Still comes out with the football. Excellently done. Kicks to the 50. Jackson, who missed a couple of marks in the first quarter, leaves it for Hogg, who turns on the threepenny bit, kicks back magnificently, won't score, and Wanganeen, man of the first quarter, mark or free kick.
Yes, Kevin Wanganeen, almost best man on the ground at the moment, finds Chris Danaher at half back. Okay, they're in. Chris Danaher, centre wing, pack develops, and the ball forced to the ground and over the line. Halfway between centre wing and half forward. There's Craig Lambert, now Kevin Sheedy and Neil Danaher. And I was talking to Kevin Sheedy today, and I know he was very concerned about the game. They certainly haven't underestimated Richmond. Richmond's form has been terrific now. Chris Danaher on the left foot. Straight to Maxfield, though. Maxfield, a long kick towards half forward. Wanganeen, almost one-handed. Chris Danaher, quick little hand pass. Back it comes to Wanganeen. Wanganeen on the left foot now. That'll be down the ground for a late tackle. The advantage paid as Masiti gets it across to Gary O'Donnell. O'Donnell to the half-forward line. Danger here for the Tigers as James Hurd races after it. Ridley was there. Now the speedy Buick. Buick goes inside to Hurd. Hurd races into goal for his second, and James Hurd has goal. Great play by the Bombers. 5-4 to 3-2.
Well, it was Hurd that came out and really did attack it and set it up. That's the way you want a forward to run at the ball. We've missed there, it is there. Came out, set it up. Buick running past, then the 1-2 over the top. And Hurd, who had played on the back line in this night series, now relishing forward. He's a very clever player up forward who knows where the goals are. He kicked 6 goals against Hawthorn in the practice game.
He's kicked 2 goals too tonight, and of course the best man on the ground will be awarded the Michael Tuck medal. I guess Wanganeen and James Hurd are pretty close to equal best on the ground at the moment. Be in line for that honour. Francis couldn't get rid of it. Picked up by Denham. A quick kick down to the 50-metre mark. A big pack of players off. Buick again. He's dangerous, close to goals, and that's close enough for him. He goes goalward, but misses on this occasion and puts it through for only 1 behind. So 1 goal, 1 kicked by Darren Buick. Kicked a gem of a goal earlier. John Northey maybe looking a little worried. Howard to bring the ball back into play. It's still early days yet. It's that early nights yet. Huge crowd in. Maybe close to a record for a Foster's Cup Grand Final. Hurd and Knights, along with Patura, and they all see the ball over the boundary line. Not quite sure of the record, but I think if we go back to 1980, the Collingwood-North Melbourne clash would have been pretty close to the record crowd here. Francis Burke, his unmistakable spectacles, knocked down by Schaefer. Masiti couldn't take it. Knights in everything for Richmond, one of their best so far. Whistle on play. Hurd. No. Comes out of it with the football. Inside 50, ball tapped back to that mark. Buick shepherded out of the contest. Lambert took a dive, looked for the free kick. Long, always dangerous, over to Spawn. Steadies, kicks from a standing start, but he too is off target and out of bounds, or one behind. It's the latter, kicked by Kieran Spawn, his first score of the night. And further behind to Essendon, they lead by 16 points.
Huge crowd here at Waverley as John Howard brings the ball back into play. A nice kick to Schaefer, and he marks at half-back. Robert Schaefer, been a surprise packet.
Done well, Pete.
Yeah, recruited from Sturt, and he's been an excellent player in the night series. Now there's a lovely hand pass coming over to Gary O'Donnell and on to Michael Long. This is danger for Richmond. Every time Long gets it, usually very constructive. Now he's getting it on quickly. Down towards the square, thumped the ground. The Tigers try and defend. Bullis was there, he went without it. The Bombers with a chance. Hurd around the corner on the right foot, and he has missed to the right, a behind. There he is, James Hurd. His grandfather, a former president and great player for Essendon, Alan Hurd, and his dad actually played games in the reserves out there, also by the name of Alan Hurd.
Herneman warming up too, Peter, for Richmond. A player with a bit of speed, he could give them something. They need something at the moment because they're not handling the ball with any confidence.
Hurd's kicked 2 goals, 3. Kick up to the square again, marking contest. Buick tried to sneak it off the top of the pack, a la Kevin Bartlett. Long again, gets ridden into the ground. Buick this time on the left foot, didn't get his kick in. He could have been close to a free kick. The umpire says play on, and it's kicked out of bounds.
Pachura's gone off the ground. Now remember, Pachura played particularly well against Hawthorn, I think it was, earlier in this competition.
His father, of course, played for Richmond, and before that South Melbourne. That protracted clearance wrangle, quite some years ago it was now. Mark Harvey, one of the best, if not the best, against the West Coast Eagles last week with Turner, who wins it. Turner had his number taken, incidentally, in the first quarter.
Much improved player too, Scott Turner's done well in the ruck. He's done a little bit of bite to his game. I know he's been reported, but he's in there using his body, attacking particularly well. His ruck work really has improved, but then again he's against a smaller player in Harvey.
Does well again. Taps it to the front of the pack. Herman, formerly from Carlton. Wallace at the back. Ball slapped away from him. Wallace wins out at the end. Short kick, covers about 35 metres. Kieran Spawn on the burst. Kicks inside 50. Richmond had the numbers in defence, plenty of them down there. Ball booted well cleared up towards midfield. Will land just about in the circle. And Essendon doing it well. Harvey takes the hand pass, kicks over the head of Wanganeen and Naish. Big Alessio, who we saw pretty dangerous close to goal last week, had a hand in a couple of goals. Farms it out for Masiti. Kicks from 40 metres out directly in front and might have been just touched on the line by John Howard, I think, yes. So further behind to the Bombers, 5-8 to 3-2.
Bremen's now gone on the back line for Richmond. There he is in screen. Beautiful kick of the football.
13 shots to 5, which is looking quite ominous. It's blood pouring out of the nose of Todd Bremen. It's a beautiful kick he is. Look at that one, right out the half-back. Oh, the Richmond players waited back and didn't really go for that one. And the ball forced over the line, yes, off hands. So it's at half-back for Richmond. There's Dale Waitman. I wonder when the Tiger champ will come into the fray. Certainly give them a lift when he comes on with this experience. There's Kickett putting the ball on the ground. Denham and Lambert, and free kick to Denham, I would think, against Lambert. Or is it going to Chris Danaher? I think it's Denham or it's Kickett. No, it's Kickett. Very lucky to get that one. Kickett to half forward. Somerville couldn't take the mark. Over the back was Bullis. He tries to tuck it in. Oh, he's a class player, Knights. Look at that weaving. Beautiful to watch. And a magnificent kick finds Lees at half-back. The Tigers off and running. This is Chris Naish. Naish with one bounce. There's a fight going on behind the players. The kick comes down towards half forward. Let's see what Jackson can do. Was that in the back? Umpire said no. Dean Wallace hooks it back. Good play by Wallace defensively to head for the line. And there was a bit of a dust-up going on down there between Somerville and Bullis.
Still going on. Wearing Neil Barnes' old number too. Let's see what happened, how it started. A little bit of a shepherd off the ball and cop that. I might be looking at that later this week. Not much in it, but the intent was there. Herneman. And finally the ball taken over the boundary line for a throw-in.
What do you think of that, Don? Part of the game?
No, that's not part of the game, Peter.
Just wanted your opinion, Don.
Just interested watching Chris Nash. He broke from the centre there. He had an option which was Herneman on the wing. Really didn't look for him. He had for Hogg earlier in the first quarter. And went over the top too. He's got to lift his horizon just a little bit more. Be aware of what's going on around about.
What was this tap down taken by Lambert out of bounds with the long hand pass. Another boundary throw in, same spot. What was this time? Gets the front position. Same play. Lambert, Herneman. That's going close to goal. Mightn't be close enough. And Harvey again. Good defence. He was brilliant last week against the West Coast Eagles. And one rushed behind.
He's a smart player, number 11. A number worn by a former Richmond captain, Bruce Monteith. And Peter Cransberg warming up for Essendon. So another change is about to take place. It might be Somerville. Well, he's being walked there. He's on screen coming up to the centre. Maybe he'll be going into the ruck, Somerville, and they bring Alessio off.
Well, maybe they'll just take him off to let him cool down. Don Lees gives the hand pass away because that fight could develop. It could have developed into something. Maxfield kicking from a standing start up towards half forward. Francis. Can he pick it up, the big fellow? Oh, he slips over the turf. A little bit greasy after the rain we had overnight and this morning. That's not a bad sort of a shot, but just off target. And one behind or out of bounds? It's out of bounds, so Somerville finally going off the ground. Scored it by Brian Wood, former Richmond player, of course. Dean Wongas to take the free kick. Chips it in short to Bomber Thompson. And Thompson marks just up from the left back pocket. Essendon captain, who's good 100%. Well, Alessio, big mark, in front, used his body well, over to O'Donnell. Looking for Michael Long, one-on-one duel, couldn't take the mark, might have been a free kick, a little bit of interference, too long or against him. What was that for? Don in the back?
In the back.
Harvey again, doing well. This time wobbles the kick up towards full forward. A real chance for the Bombers now. Buick once more, turns this time onto his right foot. Centering kick for Danaher, who marks in front of Campbell.
Well, Michael Long was by himself in the goal square. There he is, now being picked up by Young, but he was in the goal square a long time by himself.
She was a great kick, though, wasn't it, by Buick?
Pinpoint. So, Chris Danaher, Anthony Danaher, named in the 30, but not playing tonight. Chris's kick drifting off to the left-hand goalpost and past it, so through for one behind. First score of the evening, 1 point to Essendon.
Well, the Tigers, Pete, being let off the hook here, 5-9 to 3-3, and that's a pretty dominant scoreline. You look at the number of shots had.
Chris Nash going into the forward line. He's been picked up by Wanganeen. Now, they started as opponents in the back line, so obviously wherever Nash goes, Wanganeen goes with him.
Chris Danaher, a beautiful mark out from that kick in by Todd Freeman now. Again, under pressure of the Tigers. The ball put up in front of goal, thumped around by Barry Young. Players in hard after it. There's Long, punched away by Bremen. Hurd in after it. Now Young. And the umpire will come in and bounce.
Sean Denham's got the job on Craig Lambert. Now Lambert's gone onto the half-forward line and Denham's gone with him, so it's possibly why Wanganeen has gone with Nash.
Well, Essendon have looked far the better side in this term. Richmond were getting back into it this last half of the first quarter, but Alessio, Buick, the danger man. Was he held? Oh, could have been holding the man on Darren Buick. Very unlucky. And eventually the ball, and Buick cannot believe it. Have a look at him.
Well, did he have control of the football, Pete?
No, he knocked it on, then he was grabbed. That should have been holding the man.
Yep.
No doubt about that. Forward pocket. Alessio. Now Buick. Brings it up in front of goal. Barry Young. Oh, he's doing pretty well on Michael Long. That was great play by Young. He certainly has got a lot of ability. Nash. Oh, he went the play on. He copped one right across the mouth. So Chris Nash at half-back.
Oh.
And the umpire calling play on now as the kick comes out towards Knights. He's playing a great game, Matthew Knights. Off he goes. Hooks it around the corner. At half-forward is Campbell. Campbell back towards Knights. Still going on with it, Knights. Tremendous play by Knights. On to Turner. They've got to do something with this parade forward as it comes right out to Maxfield. He's on his left foot. He swings around. He bombs in a goal. A great long kick for a ripper. Tremendous play that by Richmond. All starting through Knights. They needed it. 4-3 to 5-9.
Richmond's first goal of the quarter.
And a great build-up, and this man on the wing really does impress. He works particularly hard. He's really hard at the ball. He goes in hard. He'll lay heavy shepherds. and he's got a lot of pace and a lot of skill. What a great kick from 52 metres out. Stuart Maxfield.
Maxfield's first goal and Richmond's first goal of the second quarter, 10.5 minutes before half-time, and 12 points the difference. The Tigers back in it. Alessio, Lambert, Denham.
Goes to ground a lot, Craig Lambert.
He's in there getting the ball gone. Lees. Herneman, O'Donnell. Taps it out wide. Thompson can't take it. Ball just scooped out from underneath him. That was brilliantly done. Kick up towards half forward for Richmond and the mark. Taken by Naish. Gee, that ground slippery. Campbell again. Palms out the hand pass. Here's a Tiger chant. Campbell gets it back. Goes Goldwood. One-on-one down in the square. And the back Hogg. And goes. Hogg second.
Well, it's unfortunate for young Glenn Manton. He was in front. And Hogg, playing from behind, was very, very fortunate. Here's the build-up. Campbell just getting put to the ball. And there it is going down. Manton in front, making play, just edged under it by Hogg. And that was bad luck because the youngster was in the right position. Because he's just not strong in the upper body to compete on man at this stage. But that's the way he's got to play, in front, attack the ball. Unfortunately, it was a mistake.
The Tigers have hit back hard. Essendon were getting on top. Now the margin only 6 points. What a change to the game. Essendon have peppered the goals, and this man has been magnificent, Matthew Knights. Long driving kick. Wanganeen, magnificent mark too. I used that term magnificent then twice, but both those players are just sensational to watch.
Yes, Wanganeen had a magnificent first quarter. Alessio. Kick drops a little bit short. One-on-one duel. Young gets the front position, doesn't take it. Long, brilliant ball skills from this fellow. And again, a one-on-one duel out in front of goal. It's an Essendon mark the third, who's got 2 goals, 3 against his name so far. As we watch it again, the Bomber forward line, Don, pretty open.
Yes, but look at that disposal. When you're a forward and you've got people who can deliver the ball like that, you can lead with confidence.
He looks much better on the forward line, doesn't he? Played in defence in the earlier Foster's Cup. That's a goal. He's got his third, 3-3. So I heard the leading goal kicker in the match with 3 goals, 3. Hogg 2 for Richmond, and Todd Ridley also has 2 goals, both kicked in the first quarter.
Well, he's a problem up on half forward. It's a good battle between Young. There's Young. He had the job on Long. Maybe there's been a shift because he was very close to spawn Young on that occasion. But Michael Long does possess great skill. And there it was.
Two goals the margin. James Hurd has kicked 3. 8.5 minutes before half-time. Schaefer won that one. Mark Harvey. To the wide open spaces, the ball rolling over and over and over the line.
Just looking at Michael Long, he's picking up Wayne Herneman on half-back. Now, that's great to see because he, as a half-back, he set that goal up for Hurd by running through. He had the job on Young earlier in the day or night.
Here's Lambert. They really have to get a lot more at the moment out of Lambert. Lees to half forward. Francis should have gone for the mark. Jackson, the holding. Advantage paid. Chris Naish, where's Hogg? The leader's on into the pocket. There he is. Jeff Hogg. Great play, Richmond. Tremendous. Good forward play by Hogg. Richmond are making a change in the background. Bauer is about to come on. And coming off is Herman. Now, Jeff Hogg will kick. I don't want to moz him, but he is normally a pretty accurate kick. He's kicked 2. And he's on a very, very acute angle. Hogg, the high floating kick. That is a magnificent kick. A goal.
Relishing the captaincy, Peter, put it there.
Well, he's kicked 3. He certainly is relishing the captaincy. And again, the margin 6 points. What a game we're seeing, Don.
Yes, well, the responsibility. I remember his first goal he kicked this year. It was in this night game against Hawthorn. He really did have to bite the bullet, and he went back. It was a terrific captain's effort. And what he's doing Every time he gets the ball, he's really making sure of it. He's got a little bit too much upper body strength for Manton, because as that ball was coming down, he got in front, held Manton out, then led with confidence.
Lock and Hurd both had 3 goals, 39 plays 45, 7.5 minutes before the main break. Alessio, good hand pass, bounces beautifully for long, away he goes again, clear, and once more the Bomber forward line open, kick it! Derek kick it under an injury cloud, but he moved pretty well to get that.
Well, the message better go out to Herneman. He's got to pick him up. I suppose that's what it's on now. There's John Northey on the phone, but Herneman's got to pick long up.
Can they get the quick reply? Bending back, it's coming back. Is it far enough? Wide on the goal umpire, 1 behind. So his first score of the night. Derek Kickett 1 behind, and Essendon's 10th, 6-10 to 6-3. 7 points hit it. Bremen goes to the outer side and finds Naish. Naish from left half back, or a little bit short of that. Kicks to centre wing into the open spaces. Which way will it bounce? Richmond's or Essendon? Numbers even out there. Bauer, who's just come onto the ground. Kicks from the Foster's side up towards half forward. Wallace underneath it, gets a second chance. Underground hand pass, but a very clever one nonetheless. Back to Danaher. Turns on a threepenny bit. Richmond having the numbers. Alessio outgunned there. Wanganeen. O'Donnell. There were some balletic steps there. Ridley up to half forward. Kransberg. So Kevin Sheedy using the interchange bench. He started on the bench. Peter Kransberg. So he's beefed up a little bit since he's been at Windy Hill. Maybe too far out to score, although the breeze certainly going to that end. Oh, that's a ripper kick! Tremendous goal! Who said he was too far out to score? You. What a great kick.
Well, there's not too many left-footers who are bad kicks.
Here he is, Pete.
Here he is, the Western Australian, former Western Australian. That's 60 metres out. When he came across, he was a great running player, had great endurance, played up, back, up, forward. Wearing Ken Fraser's number 23.
Kevin Sheedy, the coach of the Bombers, would be happy with that kick. That did travel 60 metres, and for a drop punt by Peter Kransberg, that is a great effort. 7-10 to 6-3. Knights again to the half-forward line. Harvey waits underneath it, or tapped it back low in the favoured Lambert. Lambert hotly pressed by Denham. Denham's done a wonderful job on Lambert, and eventually he's in frustration. Lambert has given away the free kick to Denham. Denham at half-back. Good effort, and silly play by Turner, who did not hand the ball back. He was warned by the umpire. Now he gets 50 metres.
He's had a dirty night, hasn't he? Had his number taken in the first quarter for an incident on Gavin Wanganeen, and now 50 metres against him.
Oh, here's Sean Denham, the former Geelong Rover. To the half-forward line. Knights waits underneath the pack. Punched away. Knights goes in again. Lays the tackle on Hurd. And the umpire will come in and bounce.
Whether Essendon have moved Michael Long back to the forward line, or whether Maxfield's now got the job on Long, because Herneman had the job on that half-back line or half-forward line. Michael Long is a player that's really set them on fire, Essendon, this quarter.
Well, it's James Hurd. Oh, Buick copped it round the shoulder against Tony Free. No doubt about that one. And a free kick to Darren Buick, who is very dangerous around the goals. He's kicked one tonight.
1-1.
And he should probably have got a free kick earlier in the term. Now, can he make the distance from 52 metres? He's gone for the long bomb. Have a look at this. It's a great kick, another goal. Darren Buick has kicked his second, and the Bombers playing well. 8-10, lead Richmond, 6-3.
Well, gee, Gerard Healy said at the start of the match there was no wind advantage, but they were 2 tremendous kicks at goal, weren't they?
Fantastic. If you're a bus, these goals really do break your heart when they're such a long way out of you. Play basketball, it's like them dobbing 3-pointers. Oh, what terrific kicking. One by Kransberg, the other by Buick.
Maybe you'll change the scoring system, Don. You get 9 points if you kick it from outside 50. Back to the centre. Under 5 minutes left in the half. 2 great goals by Essendon as the Bombers reassert their supremacy. 8-10 plays 6-3. Alessio again down to Chris Danaher. Essendon winning it out of the centre. A vital stat. Todd Bremen, former West Coast Eagle, kicks to the member stand flank. They've got to get something moving quickly. Back up towards half forward. From Campbell. Denham.
It's just interesting, Peter, watching those Richmond guys when the ball's bounced down in the centre square. There he's hurt, Sean Denham. Is that they're not prepared to get between the man and the ball when the ball's bounced or when it leaves the hands of the ruckman. Consequently, they're not getting it out.
It'll be a free kick. Taken by Dean Wallace against Turner.
Well, that's again silly play by Turner.
Herman just about to come back on, Peter. I think it's Herman.
Dean Wallace kicking from left half back.
No, it's Menangola.
The centre wing. Campbell again. Lees gives the hand pass to Lambert, who's always busy. Well, that's a fair mark, isn't it? The umpire has blown the whistle. What did you think of that, Don? Was that good use of the body, or is that an illegal bump?
Well, I was watching actually Jackson. They made the move with Jackson coming off, Menangola on to the forward line. Now he's a class act, Menangola.
Well, back with Francis, who's got the free kick anyway. Good long kick, but registering only one behind. And a couple of goals to be handy before half-time to the Tigers. Matthew Francis kicking his second behind of the night. And Sean Denham in the wars as well from Jackson.
The cameramen are doing a good job behind the play there, Pete.
Spy cameras catching quite a lot, Pete, aren't they? As Wanganeen kicks in. Gee, he was brilliant in that first quarter. Danaher and O'Donnell combining for Essendon. That's out of bounds right on 50. It'll be thrown in.
And McCurry also doing his stretches on the boundary line for Essendon.
Well, Stephen Jackson's on the bench too, Don, and he's had a very ordinary night, Stephen Jackson. He's dropped marks, and they really were relying on him to have a big night. They need Lambert to do it just a little bit more at the moment too. There's Tony Free up in front of goal. Hogg was there. Now a chance. Menegola off the ground. Oh, hit the post. Bad luck.
Isn't it critical? Mistakes on that full back line. Now, Mark Thompson, an experienced player, got his hands to it, fumbled it, and they were ready to pounce. They are critical. And who wants to play at full-back? Not too many players or on that full-back line. Yeah. Denham coming off too for Essendon and McCurry coming on.
Oh, Wanganeen, a shocking kick straight to Nace. Now, Nace can chip it over. Mark. Oh, well, gee, that was a delayed reaction by the umpire, Herneman. I didn't think he was going to pay it. And he didn't really hold it, did he?
Not long enough.
Well, this is Herneman. He's a beautiful kick. He's a highly skilled player. He's a very acute angle. Drop hard. Is a beautiful kick. That is a goal.
Herneman gets his first, and the Tigers again come closer, trailing by now just 11 points with 3 minutes to go to the break.
Well, the score's not a real true indication of the state of this game. Essendon really have controlled it. When you look at the marks, for example, the 16 to Richmond, 32 to Essendon, and kicks. Well, they're always in favour, or seem to be in favour of Essendon. They've controlled the game, but they haven't shown it on the scoreboard.
Wayne Herneman getting his first goal. Richmond 7th. Their 4th this quarter. They trail by 11 points, under 3 minutes left in the half. Shaper this time taps down. Ball spills free out of the centre circle. Maxfield, Buick, a quick kick, touched off the boot, so a play on call. Bauer does just that. Hurd gets grabbed, ducked his head. Is that holding the ball or too high?
Yes, no, that was a good decision by the umpire.
Sometimes they play those the other way. Bremen tried to bounce it, and that comes unstuck. Oh, gee. Buick, quick hand pass, and the Essendon forward line is open. Going to get his 4th. Hurd. He's kicked 3 goals, 3 already. Make that 3 goals 4. We've been very close to 4 goals 3.
John Northey won't like that bounce.
Well, quite a few other Richmond players have made critical mistakes like that. They're elementary mistakes, and they've got to get them out of their game if they're going to play finals type football.
Howard to Campbell. Campbell marking only about 30 metres away from his own goal. As the hand pass away, gives it back to Bremen. Knock on the nose early, which was bleeding profusely, seems to have stopped now. Maxfield snares it well, short of left centre wing. Francis in front. Hills is there. Menegola, who kicked the winning goal against Fitzroy with only seconds to play. Lambert gives the hand pass away, back to Maxfield, onto that trusty left foot. Hogg will be unhappy with that. It's out of bounds. Hogg wild, I think. A minute and a half to go.
You know, Robbo in the first quarter wanted to back Gavin Wanganeen for the Brownlow. I'm putting my money down tonight on Matthew Knight. I reckon that he will be right up in the top. And there's a free kick going the way of the Bombers.
He's always in the play, Pete, and he's very noticeable. Blonde hair, couple of best and fairest at Punt Road.
Good bet, and most importantly, he can play. There is Mark Harvey. He can play also. Now, Harvey to Manton.
Good played by Manton.
Okay, let him up.
Manton, half-back, Glenn Manton.
He's got a good shape, and when he fills out, he'll be a strong player. Broad shoulders.
Centre wing, Knights. Oh. And that was McCurry, a good mark. He's got a lot of skill too. McCurry. Mark McCurry, one of the young bombers, seemed to have come out of nowhere. Ridley, Wanganeen. Danger here for the Tigers. The chip pass up in front of Kickett. Kickett punches it on. That was cleverly done to Spawn. Spawn lines up the goals, and he might have dobbed this one. He has. Goal. So the Bombers hit back again, 9-11 to 7-5.
They have the answers at the moment, don't they?
Well, Wanganeen involved again. Where is that man playing?
Everywhere.
Well, he's up around midfield at the moment. Started in the back pocket, but he was responsible. Gave the option. Well spotted.
Standing room only out there, if you can see past the horses. So back to the centre, under a minute left in the half. 47 plays 65. Spawn's first goal. The Tigers out at the centre through Maxfield. Maxfield's kicked to half forward.
He's playing as a loose man in the back line, Wanganeen.
The ubiquitous Gavin Wanganeen. Out to Michael Long, two of their best tonight. Long's been very productive with his disposals. Kieran Spawn, who kicked the last goals. Can they get another one? Only seconds remaining before the siren for half-time. Richmond certainly wouldn't want that. Kick it! The big fly. Chris Danaher dives on top of the ball. There's a Bomber free kick to kick it. 6 seconds to go. He'll get the kick.
He might go, if the siren goes, he'll go the torpedo punt, Derek Kickett.
Well, let's see what he does do. We've seen a couple of great long goals this quarter, kicked from outside 50.
I'll back the torpedo punt here.
If he gets on with it, he'll get the distance. Don't think he's got onto it long enough, has he? Off target, out of bounds on the floor, I fancy. And so no score. Kicked by Derek Kickett after the siren to end the first half. And Essendon will go in with a useful lead, but by no means a match-winning one. 9 goals, 11. In that quarter, they kicked 5 goals, 7. So a good quarter by the Bombers, but it certainly could have been a lot better for them. So at half-time in the Foster's Cup Grand Final, the Bombers leading 9-11-65 to the Tigers 7-5-47.
The margin was 8 points at quarter time, favouring the Bombers. In the second quarter, they've stretched that to 18. Essendon 9-11-65. Richmond a 7-5-47. Unfortunately, I've had to stop Bernie Quinlan midway through a cup of tea for a comment on the first half, Bernie. But the Bombers appear to just be able to keep their noses in front.
Well, they just seem to be taking hold of the match towards the end of that quarter, I thought, Robbo. They seem to get a few players out on their own, Sandy. And you look at the scoring opportunities they've had. It's 20 scoring shots to 12. They've got the class players up on that forward line. James Hurd, he's kicked 2 goals 4. He could have easily made it 5 goals 1. He's had plenty of the ball. They've got good class players. Wanganeen across the back line. Also Michael Long around midfield, half forward. And also when Derek Kickett came on the ground, he gave them a lift as well. And here's the incident with Somerville involved with Bullis. And we saw him take it from the ground after that, Robbo.
Yes, I'd like to give credit to Denham. I think Denham's done a terrific job on Craig Lambert. It was mentioned during the second term by Peter McKenna. I think that his tagging role has been excellent. And also we've spoken, I think, very much about Wanganeen. His first quarter was fantastic.
Brilliant.
The best player probably for Richmond in that first half was Knights.
Right, thank you, gentlemen. 1993 season about to get underway. Some brand new football, and I'm happy to say, on 7, a brand new football song, the name of the game.
Gentlemen, please. 135 football seasons ago, 4 sportsmen decided to change the name of the game.
So, you've got the posts. Between the posts, a goal.
Why can't we use our hands to
mark the ball?
What about these posts?
Stick up 2 sticks in the goal. Put the emphasis on kicking.
It's the name of the game. Why outside? Why can't we pass forward? The name of the game.
Keeps the game flowing. What do we call it?
The name of the game.
What will anybody bother turning up?
The name of the game is Australian.
The name of the game, Australian, and of course the name of the game, Aussie rules on 7 right throughout this coming winter. I hope you can stay with us for what should be a fascinating season. We'll take a break. Coming up, all the news, the football news, the behind-the-scenes news from Scott Palmer.
For inspiration, there have been few moments to equal Tim Watson's burst in the third quarter of the 1981 night grand final.
McClure from the back, skipping over Rose. Watson racing into goal, shoots, and has put it
through. And remember, if you want something for the last, that November inquiry into possible draft tampering, remember that?
Yes.
Not over yet. Charges could be in the wind, Sandy.
Oh, righto, mate.
Right.
I want you to fire up tonight.
Okay.
Welcome back. The Bombers like an Ansett jet at the moment, flying high, but we've still got a half of football to go. Hard at work in the Sunday Herald Sun offices, the one and only Scott Palmer. It's good to talk to you again, Scotty. For the first time this year, we've had a lot of practice matches today, but the big news up north is that the Bears are celebrating in a big way.
Sure are. They recorded their biggest win, 74 points, and kicked more goals than ever before, 26, against the Sydney Swans today. Roger Merritt and Darryl White kicked 5 each, and Darryl, who was supposed to kick 4, Robbie Walsh said, go out and kick 4, hit 5, and he said, give me the 5, big Robbie.
He's going to be a player. Arden Street opened their gates to Collingwood, and North did very nicely, thank you.
27 points. Wayne Carey kicked 6 goals, and Barry Mitchell made his debut for the Collingwood side, the $1 million man. He came off late in the game in the last quarter, obviously needing match practice. Sandy?
Scotty, what about the Hawks? Are they back on track? They're up against the Lions.
Darren Baxter, the tagger, did a very, very good job for them today. The Hawks got home by 37 points against Fitzroy. Dunstall kicked 4, and young Shane Crawford, roving with John Platten, going to be the star of the future.
Geelong and Carlton, and the Cats proving too good for the Blues.
14 points. Mark Neal kicked 5 for the Cats. There's interesting news out there. Malcolm Blight said that his spies had done their homework, and they sort of believe that Tony Lockett is carrying an injury to his leg and won't play in the opening game of the season next week at Cardinia Park. Yeah. I'm not too sure about that, because Plugger said that forget the scaremongers, I'll be playing.
Now, if he does play, who does Malcolm Blight intend playing on him at full-back?
It looked today that though Billy Brownless was being groomed for the job, Sandy. Be a high-flying affair, that one.
He'll hate that. Just in closing, news of that draft tampering last November. It's still not over?
Still hovering there, Sandy. I believe that charges could be laid, and that's going to be bad news for a couple of clubs at the start of the season.
All right, the ace news hound is back with us once again. Scotty, keep punching, won't you?
See you, mate.
Certainly shall. We'll take a break. Be back with the third quarter here at Waverley Park, where at the moment the Bombers hold the ascendancy to the tune of 18 points. Tigers back out on the ground as we go down to the ground now for his boundary report, and with him a special non-speaking guest, Gerard Healy.
Thanks very much, Sandy. Well, with the retirement of Tim Watson, we've been left with a skeleton staff down here on the boundary, which is just as well because he's going to help us explain exactly what happened to Paul Salmon in this incident last Saturday. Here we go on screen. Paul takes a pretty good mark under some pressure there from McIntosh, and down he goes. Hand first, then he takes all his weight through that right shoulder. And if you can see here in a very short moment on our skeleton here, this is the AC joint that we had so much confusion about here. This bone here, the clavicle, has popped out. It's snapped out a acromioclavicular ligament, and that's why it's called the AC joint. There it is, the AC joint, acromioclavicular. That is now floating in the wind at the present time, and Paul will miss 2 to 4 weeks.
Thank you, Gerard. 3 gentlemen who are a little more solidly built: Bernie Quinlan, Ian Robertson and Drew Morphett.
About ready for the start of the second half. It's a 3-goal lead to the Bombers, even though they blazed away during that second quarter and should have been leading by more. Now they're off and running. Francis gets the hand pass out to centre wing. Long has been spectacular. Bauer with him. Bauer keeps it in, does pretty well. Little left footer, gains 15 or 20 metres. Knights put it down, beats the tackler, gets the hand pass over the top to his twin in the skill department, Lambert. Not great hand pass this time. Bauer had kept going. Well done by Bauer. Now a long kick to full forward. Hogg from behind. Naish at the front. Herneman. Did he take it out? Yes, he did. We'll have a throw in about 40 metres around from the behind post. Tigers.
Sorry, Drew, I just wouldn't mind having a look at that hand pass again from Naish. If that wasn't a throw, I'll go B, I suppose, Robbo, would you say?
Yes, my word. Very important that Richmond get their first score, I think, in this third quarter.
Maybe his clavicle got in the way, but
that is very important because Essendon doing all the attacking towards the end of that second term.
Yes, they really should have put a nail in the coffin in the second quarter, the Bombers, shouldn't they?
Many opportunities.
Yep. Here's a chance now for Thompson. Thompson's deep in the back pocket. He kicks it back near the wing. Nearly the mark to Bauer, but Long will make him pay for that mistake. Michael Long runs away. Lovely little hand pass for Mercury. Short kick, all right. Buick. Darren Buick looks as though he's permanent forward pocket, and gives it to Kickett. Handball away. Cransberg on the favoured left foot. Shot for goal by Cransberg. He's let himself down there. Hooked the kick and through for one behind. So Richmond breathe a sigh of relief. Turner back there to kick it back into play.
Yes, Buick with his pace on that forward line has been a constant thorn in the side of the Tiger defence. He's had 8 kicks and 5 hand passes.
Lambert going up for the mark, and he'll finish up with the crumbs just about. Look at that little Tiger in the Tiger colours. Number 4 for Richmond. Won a best and fairest a couple of years ago. Just lives for the game of Australian football. 66 plays 47. Richmond not out of it yet. Essendon's inaccuracy perhaps kept the Tigers in this a bit. Trouble for Young. Elgin not in possession. He'll take a free kick.
Well, Young not really expecting the free there.
He lost the ball in the tackle, and in those circumstances it's play on, but he was held on to for a long time.
Well, he's in 2 minds. Now does the right thing, in my opinion. Kicks it long down towards the wing to get the Tigers a little bit out of trouble. Here's a chance for Herneman. Grabbed by the leg. Maybe the advantage. Is it with the Tigers? Oh, brilliant football, O'Donnell. Knights nearly collects it. Essendon through Harvey. Bullis for Richmond. Ball fed out the back rugby style. Now Lambert. Forced to kick with his right foot. Up towards centre half forward. Harvey. Bounce was good for him, but he buried by Bauer.
Good decision.
And the other tackler there for Richmond could have been Menegola. Away goes Bauer. Bauer's long kick to the goal front. Hogg. Kick it off the ground, Jeffrey. Oh, he just couldn't quite get his foot to it. Naish? No, it's forced over for a rush behind to Richmond when Essendon looked as though they were in lots of trouble.
He probably did have time there, Jeff Hogg, to take it in possession instead of trying to kick it off the ground.
Manton in a little bit of trouble, might have hurt his finger.
Well, I think the ball went for a behind and Manton's fingers went for a goal. Oh, here's a chance. Francis takes the mark. Too far out to score. Pops it up short. Hogg with a charge at it. Gets underneath the ball. Chance for Naish. Missed it. Behind. been a bit handy.
That was a rather lackadaisical shot, wasn't it, by Nash, do you think?
Let's have a look at what happened to Glenn Manton here. There may have been the incident where he may have come down on his hand there, did he?
I think Nash might have stood on his fingers accidentally.
Hurd marks the kicking.
Very promising young footballer, James Hurd. High kick in near the centre. Harvey marks. Certainly had an influence on this game, Mark Harvey. Nice long kick to right half forward. Spawn, tap over the top. Not quite to the advantage of his teammate. Trying to run onto it there was Buick. And the ball forced over for a boundary throw-in. The Essendon doctor, Bruce Reid, on the boundary line. Ready to examine Manton if he can get him close enough to the boundary line. Masiti going nowhere. Oh, desperate stuff by Denham. Picked up by Buick. Buick's kick into the pocket. No mark taken. Punched away from Cransburg by Bullis. Picked up by Howard. Howard's kick. Back near the wing. Knights. He's got 3 to beat. Very, very difficult. Masiti's little left foot kick into the path of Long, who took the half volley as though it was a soda. Here goes Denham. Tries to crash through. 3 players tackle him. In goes Howard. Ball rebounds for free. Buick does some good work and keeps the ball in the half-forward region for the Bombers' boundary throw-in.
Michael Long's pick up on the half volley. Absolutely superb.
He has terrific skills, hasn't he, Michael Long?
Somerville tries to work it to the back. Does to Danaher. He can't break the tackle. The tackling is red hot. That was Howard. Here's Lambert. Kick by Lambert off the left. Up towards Knights. Almost a one-hander. Comes to O'Donnell. Look at these tackles sticking. Harvey gets him, has a good look at Maxfield as he tried to get him high. Tapped down by Campbell. Denham flicks the ball up. It's a throw.
They're away too, Essendon. Danaher running into an open goal there.
Lambert comes out towards the wing where Bremen flies and takes the mark.
Well, takes some risks, Richmond. They're too pedestrian.
Holding on to the ball for a long time there, Bremen.
Great penetration with the kick. Up just short of the 50. Knights. Great tackle, O'Donnell. It spills to Bauer. He's on the 50, but Long corners him. Bauer centres. They brought Danaher into the play. He's got it. Masiti. And his kick to centre half forward. Kick it. Punched away from him by Lees. Ball all over the park. Not much scoring in this third quarter, but great stuff to watch. Masiti out to Denham. Kick by Denham off the left. As it cleared the defence, it has onto the chest of McCurry. Within scoring distance, not quite. He goes for the pass to Hurd.
Well, some ordinary manning up there by the Tiger defence. A good play by the young fella for Essendon there, Mark McCurry, spotting Hurd. And just snuck in there behind the Richmond defenders. Got away from his opponent and took that very safe chest mark.
Excellent kick by McCurry.
He's had a great night. He's had 8 shots at goal. He's now kicked 4 for. 4-4 in the team tally of 10 goals, 12.
It's just sneaking away a little bit at the moment. Richmond really need a couple of quick goals to get back into this match. Got some very classy players, Essendon, all over the ground. Very impressed in a couple of these young Essendon. Well, the baby Bombers, I suppose, as they've been called. And James Hurd, one of those.
Well, at half-time, the statistics showed that Essendon 104 kicks to 81, 48 handballs to 31, 39 marks to 17. Really is a true reflection of the way that game went in the first half, and they've carried on in the third quarter. Young is pushed in the back there by Hills. And pretty strong looking Paul Hills now, as though he's done a fair amount of weight work. Richmond need to lift around the middle of the ground. Young goes straight towards goal, in towards centre half forward. No mark taken off the pack by Knights. Always looks as though he's got plenty of time. Up towards Hogg. Naish is there. Can't get the hand pass away. Still on the bottom there. Wanganeen caught by Menegola. In goes Naish. Thompson. A real struggle for possession. Terrific stuff there by 5 or 6 players from both sides, and eventually Mark Thompson. Kevin Sheedy looking on, very, very serious. Not much different there with Sheeds. Chance for O'Donnell, kicks it clear. Out to a vacant wing area where Francis leads in the race for the ball. Onto him is Hills, and all Francis can do is just kick it in front of himself, and it goes over for a boundary throw-in. Richmond with some pretty ordinary individual statistics. They've had a couple of very high possession gatherers, but they've got a lot round about 6 and 7 possessions. Wanganeen, now Masidi, back to Hills, the youth of Essendon. They're really doing quite well. Here's a chance now for Schaefer. He was a little slow. Swooping on it long. Look at that pace. Poor kick. Falls short. Lees will clear. Lees clear. Ride out to left half-back flank. Mercury and Maxfield. Ball goes over, boundary throw-in.
There'll be a big cheer in a minute, Robbo, when Dale Waitman comes on. Matthew Francis coming off for the Tigers. And there it is. The Richmond veteran on for his first taste of football in the 1993 season.
And Landy are about to come on for Essendon. Naish goes off the ground. Centre of the ground. Wanganeen, a couple of touches in the last minute. He'd been quiet for the first 6 or so minutes of this term after a brilliant first half. Mercury, terrific pickup. Back to Long. Pops it up pretty high. Ooh, down goes free. Buick grabs it off to Cransburg, and he bounces it through. Goal to Cransburg. Two goals to Peter Cransburg, and it looks a bit of a break now for the Bombers.
There's quite a gap opening up now. Essendon really doing most of the attacking in this third term. Two very constructive players on the forward line. Buick competing for that mark and then doing the roving as well. Feeding off that hand pass to Cranberg, who kicks his second goal after starting off from the interchange bench.
Well, I don't like to say it, but the floodgates, gee, they're just opening up ever so slightly. Essendon 29 points in front. Somerville. Good bounce. Back at the centre. Somerville gets his left hand to it. Menegola goes back and gathers quite nicely for the Tigers. His kick high to no one in particular, but Wanganeen, look at that. It's judgment through the air. Quite superb. Difficult task for Waitman to come onto the ground and play in the forward pocket. A man who's handling the ball so beautifully is Wanganeen. Chris Danaher away for Denham. Denham's kick up to a vacant right half forward area where Howard marks, takes the ball rather. Hand pass away for Campbell. Campbell now. His kick back near the centre. Harvey again pretty strong. No.
Could be against Harvey. He threw the arm back, Robbo.
Burn.
Well, are you allowed to do that, are you?
I think that's a sympathetic free kick. Really.
Oh. Okay, the umpire was right on the spot. Here he is, takes the mark. Waitman right behind him. Severe pressure, he just threw that arm back. Well, you might be right, Rob. I think
the Richmond guy holding him up, that's all. And he's entitled to probably shrug the guy off.
Actually, it looked worse in that first instance, I thought.
Manton looks as though he's recovered from that finger injury.
Up at half forward now for the Tigers. O'Donnell wins the punch away. Naish going all right this third quarter. High ball short of the 50. Harvey charges at it and takes it on the chest. Across the half-back line he goes. Out in front of Michael Long. This is a sprint, and guess who'll win it? Michael Long. Great shepherd by Kickett. Really got rid of his opponent. And the kick by Long is superb, and Somerville on all fours takes the mark.
Kickett was heading for the interchange when he effected that shepherd there.
Somerville, 2 possessions for the night. On the bounce to Buick. On the 50. Kick one from here earlier. He goes again. And can't repeat the dose. Yeah, Derek Kickett going off the ground. Landy coming on for the Bombers. 5 goals straight the margin.
Enormous depth at Essendon, haven't they? You know, when you can take players like Kickett off the ground, Alessio sitting on the bench.
Breeman kicks it to himself and then kicks it really long out towards the wing. Taken by Denham. playing a disciplined game. Wanganeen caught, must be penalised. Umpire swallowed his whistle. Maxfield taps it out of bounds for a throw-in.
That was a terrific tackle by Lambert. Wanganeen was slippery as an eel, but he stopped him dead.
Lambert let the umpire know about that.
Boundary throw-in. Turner beaten for it by O'Donnell. Masidi. Back it comes to O'Donnell. O'Donnell forced to kick quickly off his right foot. Punched away by Free from Buick. And a boundary throw-in will take place. Well, the Tiger fans, they haven't had much to shout about in this third quarter. They went in at half-time with a scoreline of 7-5. They've progressed to 7-7. On the other hand, Essendon have gone from 9-11.
Oh, that's kicking in danger. Against Johnny Howard there, the little bloke Peter Philandia. I think you mentioned last week, Robbo, very much like Tony Liberatore in stature.
Yep.
Philandia's kick. 25 metres short of goal. Free kick right in front. Round the neck of Somerville. Well, this will make the margin 6 goals. And you can't see the Tigers getting back from here.
We'll just have a look at this in replay. Big pack of players flying for that ball. Somerville down low. And there's the tackle there. Definitely around the shoulders by Robert Schaefer.
Kick by Somerville. Is another one. So the margin's 6 goals and Richmond have only kicked 7 so far.
Yes, and Richmond only kicking 2 behinds in this third quarter. The lead up to this goal and the free kick to Somerville. Big pack of players flying there. And no doubt about that. A bit of a crude tackle there from Robert Schaefer, the young Richmond ruckman. And Somerville making no mistake.
12-13 to 7-7. So, sizable margin in favour of the Bombers. 8.5 minutes left. Denham gets them away from the centre. Vital centre breaks. Howard, good bump by Hill.
Oh, Robbo. Well, what's wrong with that?
Well, I thought it was a fair bump, but umpire saw it as a free kick. Howard, Schaefer, back to Howard, up to the half-forward region. Have a guess who's got it?
Gavin champion. It's, I suppose it's thrown around pretty loosely. The term's used pretty loosely, champion, but this bloke at 19 years of age has to be one already.
Very, very well balanced. Bremen, short kick, Wakeman, good gather. Off to Turner. Turner's kick, marked by Herneman. Now the Tigers, if they're to have any chance in this game, Herneman must kick this goal. 7 3/4 minutes left in the third quarter as Jackson prepares to come back onto the playing arena. Wayne Herneman. It's kick 1. Beautiful kick in the second quarter. That's not bad either. It's kick 2. So Richmond get their 8th goal. 8-7. They trail Essendon 12-13.
Stephen Jackson comes back on. He's replaced Scott Turner. It's been very slow coming, that goal for the Tigers in this third quarter. Wayne Herneman, he kicked a goal from a similar position in the second term, same side of the ground. He looks to be a pretty good prospect for the Tigers.
Well, Jackson is a goal scorer. He's got to start getting a kick on the forward line. The Tigers need some scoring. That was their first goal for the quarter. And here's a free kick coming to Essendon, to Somerville. Jackson at centre half forward, playing on Harvey. He's playing at centre half back. Kick out wide. Bird concedes ground. Philandia concedes more ground. Mercury needs to get this one. Well, Denham does for him. The kick by Denham straight up the centre corridor. He's given it away and Campbell takes the mark. 5th in the league in average possessions last year, Campbell. 26 possessions a game. Hills goes back. Wallace, a bit of a fumble. Might be out of touch, hasn't played too much footy. Menegola off the left hand to Lambert. Can set something up now. Maxfield's got pace and can kick long. He goes long. Didn't quite make it. Thompson gets back there.
And Thompson, experienced campaigner, takes his time and kicks it wide to right half back where it's gathered nicely by Long. Long's kick, nearly marked by Spawn. Beautifully rowed there by Philandia. Philandia's kick to the 50-metre line, no mark taken. Cransburg beaten for it by Schaefer, dispossessed by Moon. Oh, Barry Young, you're only centimetres away, son. The kick in towards half forward for Essendon. Back goes Chris Danaher. Campbell, who's got it? Danaher. Buick can't get clear. That's a little high. Barry Young a little fortunate.
It was one low and one high.
He did duck down when he saw the tackle coming, I think, Buick. The umpire may have taken that into account. But the lucky man out of that incident, just slightly before that, was Mercury, when Young just missed him.
My word. Richmond get out of trouble. All Lee's fumble. Took his eyes off the football just for a second or three.
Now Bremen. Long kick to centre half forward. Oh, O'Donnell, well done.
Alessio back on. Cransburg off for the Bombers.
Essendon have won 3 night flags. Night cups under Kevin Sheedy. It looked like making it 4 tonight. Philandia's hand passes astray, taken by Bauer into Lambert. Always where the action is, Craig Lambert. Back he goes to Howard. Long kick out wide to centre wing. Knights with a bit of space. Hasn't got too many players free up the ground. So he kicks long to the 50. Jackson in the chop there. Cannot get a touch. Wallace goes back. Hills. Masiti, and they're running free in the middle of the ground. One-handed gather by Wanganeen was perfect, and look at the kick. Hurd is superb overhead.
Yes, great mark, Hurd. Strong mark out in front of Barry Young.
He's got a bit of a chance of kicking this too. He goes long. Offline. Got the distance, no worries. He has had 9 shots at goal tonight for 4 goals 5, James Hurd.
They just seem to have so many reserves and emergencies to come on. They're not short of talent at all, Essendon. They've got so much backup.
Wanganeen 16 kicks, 1 hand pass and 7 marks. Bullis takes the kick in. Back to Bremen. Bremen's kick out near the wing. Nearly marked by O'Donnell. Tap on was by Patura. Now Knights. Kick beautifully smothered. O'Donnell. Bernie must get so many stats that don't really register on the stat sheet.
Exactly, exactly, and they're the very important ones, aren't they? That one especially, saved probably 20, 30 metres. It wasn't a full-blooded kick.
Just absolute lousiness, wasn't it,
yes,
by O'Donnell?
It was.
Bauer. Not a bad kick by Bauer, and it's marked by Maxfield.
Just 3.5 minutes to go to 3/4 time. Like to finish with a couple of goals, the Tigers. Hills caught in Menegola's tackle. Comes to Wallace, who kicks out of bounds on the full.
Out before he kicked it, I think.
Yes, Wallace appealing for that, but gee, it looked a line ball decision there, wasn't it, Robbo? Could have went either way.
Well, you've got to give the boundary umpire the chance there. He was right on the scene.
31 points the margin. Jackson in ruck. To Waitman. He balks, finds Naish. 55 metres out, Chris Naish. Nobody back there. It bounces. Oh, just touched on the line. Manton, you did well there, son. I reckon when the kick left the boot, there was nobody within 20 metres of the goal line, so he's done well.
Amazing how he got back there.
Well, only registers as a behind for the Richmond, unfortunately for them, and Essendon through O'Donnell get the ball back near centre wing. Well, Gary O'Donnell, he covers a lot of territory in a game of football. He's had 13 kicks and 4 hand passes.
It's just part of the ground that's been resurfaced there. The ball going out of bounds just near the batting mound when they play baseball here. They resurfaced actually the pitcher's mound and the batter's mound.
Here's Naish for Richmond. Lovely little kick, finds Knights. Must get something out of this, the Tigers. Knights go straight towards goal. And Thompson attacked it. Jackson gathered it nicely. Herneman, back to Jackson. Got to kick a goal, Jacko. And he hits the post. Well, no luck for Richmond. Jackson only 30 metres out directly in front. Kevin Sheedy running a message down to Brian Wood on the boundary line.
Well, now the margin is under 5 goals. And with still 2.5 minutes to go to three-quarter time. Richmond could get a couple, might be very handy. Menegola did well to stretch the hamstrings and get to that one.
Kicked a very important goal in their semi-final match, Todd Menegola.
Won the game with 20 seconds to go.
Yep.
Well, if he can kick this and bounce it back in the centre with 2 minutes left, who knows? Todd Menegola, ex-West Australian. They kicked pretty well. He has kicked well. Well, who knows? 12-14 to 9-9.
It's the margin now, 23 points. They're close enough if they're good enough, the Tigers. It's really been one-way traffic in this third term. A great kick from Menegola from about 55 metres out. So he's covered 60 metres with that drop punt. And as we just said, he kicked that winning goal in the semi-final against Fitzroy.
Well, Johnny Northey, I'm sure he'd be wishing that they could get maybe another goal before three-quarter time. They trail by 23 points. Just under 2 minutes left. Schaefer beaten for it by Somerville, down to Denham, marked by Bremen. Move it on quickly, Todd. And he does. This time, the kick has been marked by Young.
We just had a figure on the crowd, Robbo. 75,500.
Fabulous.
That is unbelievable.
Kick goes in to centre forward. And that could be paid, is it, to Bauer? Yes. Handball away. Lakeman. Go, Dale. Cover yourself in glory. Goes to the goal front, but he hooks the kick. And it's through for a behind.
He didn't look confident, did he? And a couple of minutes ago, he gave a hand pass away to Naish when he might have otherwise gone for a goal.
Well, probably lack of football. He missed a lot of football last year, Dale Waitman, with Achilles problems.
Minute 10 left to three-quarter time. Big pack here. Comes to Wallace. Nearly dispossessed. Gets rid of it. Long didn't take possession. Isn't that beautiful to watch? Masiti, the Mercury. All the M's with the big numbers. O'Donnell. The O with the small number. And run over the boundary line by Hurd, and we'll have a throw-in. Well, Essendon have it down their end. But there's time enough for Richmond to whip it up for another goal. First time these two teams have played in a final, day or night, for 50 years. And it hasn't disappointed. Landy was out, the ball was in. Oh, terrific stuff. What a mark by Bullis.
And they've got to go down that far side of the ground. If they can get a player in the open, Free, ball bounces awkwardly. Well done, Tony Free. Chased by Spawn, but took the ball away. Pass, Wakeman marks. Plays on into the centre, Bauer. Bauer's kick up to half forward. Just 13 seconds left. Denham's going to get back. Maybe this will tidy up for Essendon as Chris Danaher goes to the boundary line. And that surely will be the last passage of play apart from this ruck contest before three-quarter time. Jackson in position to do the ruck work against Harvey. Harvey from the back, gets the tap out. Knights! Siren sounds, this kick will not register. Jeff Hogg. And at three-quarter time, Essendon lead by 22 points, 12-14 to 9-10.
In one of the biggest turnabouts in football history, Richmond defeated Swan Districts by 186 points in the quarter-final of the 1982 night series and promptly lost to the Sydney Swans in their next match by 53 points. A 239-point swing.
That time, yes, a goal.
Bombers are smooth as an Ansett jet at the moment, continuing to outscore Richmond in the third quarter. They lead now by 22 points, 12-14 to 9-10. The AFL season round 1 commences next Friday, and it should be a ripper game to start proceedings. Footscray takes on Collingwood. Quickly down to the boundary line. Here once again is Gerard.
Yes, thanks, Sandy. Bombers on top, but don't count out the Tigers. They just need a spark from somewhere. Hogg must kick a couple of goals, as does Jackson. Things must go right for him. He's had a pretty ordinary night so far. Key to it, of course, is to win the ball out of the centre. And the thing that has been missing slightly from the Tigers' game has been that gang tackle and pressure. The Bombers have taken over in that department, but don't be surprised if the Tigers show everything out and kick a couple of goals on the trot this quarter.
And they come back. Here's Peter McKenna, Don Scott and Peter Landy.
75,553 at Waverley for the Foster's Cup Grand Final. The final quarter, and the Tigers need that spark to ignite them pretty quickly. Maxfield up towards Knights and Buick, two players who really starred for their respective sides tonight, and both in line therefore for the Michael Tuck medal. He's like tunnel ball out there. Nobody can pick it up. Wanganeen, he's been a star too, gets a push in the back. At least we thought so. The umpire didn't. Chris Danaher. Wallace. For Landy. Tackle. Did he have it? Whistle goes. Peter Philandia will take the free kick. Philandia from left half forward. Decides to centre it. Some tall timber needed down there. Play on call from the umpire. Long, magnificent skills. To Hurd. Tackle, drops the ball long off the ground and rushed through by Bullis for one behind. The umpire says all clear. First score of the final quarter.
Well, you've got to be adaptable in this Essendon side, and Darren Buick playing on the half-back line. Knights is on the half-forward line for Richmond. Those two are immediate opponents.
Well, Mark Matura back on the ground. A shocking kick straight to Spawn. Spawn straightens up, but he's missed, and Essendon have let Richmond off the hook with some of their kicking tonight. That was a bad kick by young Mark Matura. But only 4 goals the margin. They're not out of it, Richmond. Essendon have certainly been the better side. As Gerard Healy said at three-quarter time, that gang tackling has been missing from Richmond. They just don't seem to have had that same enthusiasm. Here's a good mark to Schaefer at half-back. Gives it on to Maxfield. They need a couple of quick goals to really spark them. Half-forward. Buick races back onto the left foot. Darren Buick, he's been a dangerous player. To centre wing, Chris Danaher, hand pass to David Grinbold to the half forward line. The race is on. James Hurd versus Paul Bullis. Hurd a little bit more pace. Bullis, is that in the back? No, it's not. There'll be a throw in about 30 metres around from the Bomber goal. James Hurd,
he's been brilliant tonight. 4 goals, 5, Pete.
Yep, been an excellent player, and very strong overhead. Some promising young players, the Bombers. As I said earlier, they seem to have come out of nowhere, these players. There's a kick around the boundary line by Chris Nash and over the line. There's Kevin Sheedy. Well, he's been through this many, many times, both as a player.
251 games for the Tigers.
Yeah, great player too. And as a coach, of course, has led the Bombers to a couple of premierships. Now, Alessio versus Schaefer. The ball hits the deck. Peter Philandia. Now it's Grinbold, former South Australian, to half forward. The dangerous Michael Long, clever hands. He gets it to Gary O'Donnell, the long bomb. And he has just missed. Certainly in good form, isn't it?
Amazing thing about tonight's game, Peter, is a number of long scoring shots that have actually made the target, whether it be point or goal. They're letting them go from 50 metres, and they're making the distance quite easily.
Especially at that end.
Well, on both sides are doing it.
Schaefer makes a lead for Matura's kick. Danaher underneath it. Alessio punches on. Spawn pounces on it. Kicks it back across his body. Wallace, good attempt to mark. Patura, safe in defence, kicks to centre wing, marking contest out there. Nothing for it. Yes, there is something for it. Be a free kick going Richmond's way, or in the back, I guess, and Bauer will take it. He started on the bench for the Tigers. Boy, they need something to happen quickly. Young kicks up to the edge of the square. Big pack of players, and they all misjudge that. I don't think
it's being held. advantage Richmond's way.
Yes, going Knights. And Knights could kick this one. Going pretty close. I think he's put it through. He has. That's what they wanted. The Tigers roar again. So Knights kicks his first goal, his first score for the night, 10-10, and the difference got only 19 points.
Well, it all came through a free kick. I'll show you the free kick. It's to men in goal. I see Grenvold holding on left of screen. Advantage played. Knights, really no pressure at all.
Well, that was just what the doctor ordered, a goal to Matthew Knights.
Dean Wallace has gone off too, Peter, in that break, and Cransburg's come on. Wallace is playing on the forward line.
Well, can they get the next one? Good tackle by Lambert. He's off and running, but in the meantime, the umpire had called for a bounce. But a little bit more urgency. There's an excited young lady. But a lot more urgency about Richmond now. They realise they've got to give it absolutely everything in this final term. It is a grand final. It's a tunnel ball job. Off the ground by Maxfield. And Knights has marked it half forward. Handball wide. Naish picks it up. He's trying to get onto the right foot. 50 metres out. Chris Naish goes for home. And it is forced through for a behind. Matthew Knights might have been better off getting onto his own left foot there and having a long bomb.
Nations kicked 1-4, and 3 of those behinds coming in the second half. Thompson to kick in. Severe knee injury a few years back now. Sidelined him for about a season. Crowd certainly giving him the hurry on. Not worrying him. Starts again now. Thompson kicks in. Grenvold underneath it. 2 Essendon players are there. Good mark. Taken by Manton, ultimately. Buick. Gee, he's been good tonight. His own defensive 50-metre line. Kicks to the circle. None can take it. Spawn is there. Young is there first. On to Bauer. Clear of Mercury. Out the half. Oh, magnificent mark. Has he played a great game. Started off well and has got better. Wanganeen to Buick. Kicks to centre wing. Mercury. Masiti. The big M's. And here's another one. Hurd underneath it, but Cransburg's there. Kick away for Richmond. Came from Patura. Back it comes Mercury. The Bombers answering the Tiger challenge. He kicks long into the forward pocket. Off the hands of Young. They wouldn't want to make a meal of this. And Young clearing dash gets Richmond out of danger.
Oh, great play, Barry Young. He backed himself in. He's found Campbell. Boy, have they lifted their tempo, Richmond, as they go forward again. Wanganeen. Oh, have a look at that.
That was great play. Great play.
Championship skill, that. Fantastic, Wanganeen. And he found Harvey. Gee, reads the play well. Wanganeen as the kick from Harvey finds Glenn Manton. Manton on centre wing brings it in towards half forward, and Mercury marks. And he's a good young talented player also. He's way out halfway between centre wing and half forward. Mercury to the half forward line. Some pushing and shoving going on, but a mark paid to Mark Patura.
Well, free kick, I'm not quite sure. I agree with the pushing and shoving you mentioned, Pete. There was plenty there. 14 3/4 minutes left in this match. Big punch away from Harvey. Back up towards the edge of the square. O'Donnell overruns it. Denham's tackle on Lambert. Ineffective. The Richmond star gets the hand pass out to Naish. Too far out to score. Runs through centre wing. Naish long raking kick. Up inside 50. Herneman. Mark, no mark and no free kick. Waitman, was he leg? He started on the bench. Farms out a hand pass. 2 of them could take it. Campbell kicks it goal and gets it. To 12-17.
That's his 3rd goal. Herneman. That was a good hand pass by Waitman, but it was a good kick and good lead. Number 1, it was Herneman who took off. The ball were about centre wing. And there he is following up. And Richmond back in it. Only 2 goals the difference.
It was Herneman, the goal kicker. He's kicked 2 in this half. He's kicked 3, and Richmond are back in it. 12 points the difference, Pete. 14 minutes to go.
Wayne Herneman has kicked 3, and the Tigers are lifting. And centre of the ground, Grenvold, a quick kick. Tony Free and Michael Long. Free used his body, goes to ground, kicks it quickly. They're desperate. Look at the tackling of Richmond. Barry Young on the left foot to the half-forward line. Let's see what can happen. Hogg and Knights at the back. There's Buick, a quick kick. Look at the pressure now.
The pressure's on.
You've hit it. Hit the nail on the head there. Done the pressure right on the hurry kick. Has gone straight to Nathan Bauer. Bauer to the half-forward line. Jeff Hogg at the back. Matthew Knights also. The
Should have gone for the ball, Hogg.
Players go to ground. And look at that smother by Menegola.
I don't care what or who you are, Peter, when the pressure's on, Darren Buick's got a lot of composure and all that, but we saw him, that quick kick. I don't care who it is. If you can maintain pressure, anybody can maintain pressure. You really do bring good players down a level.
13 and a half minutes left in the match now. O'Donnell used to the pressure of grand finals, and you can see by that educated kick straight back over the boundary line from Gary O'Donnell.
Pete, there's still just over 13 minutes to play left, so plenty of time.
But a great finish, as it was when the Tigers tackled for Troy. It went down to the last kick of the night before Menegola finally put one through. We were looking at extra time then. Didn't eventuate, nor won't be extra time tonight perhaps, but O'Donnell, gee, that wasn't a
free kick.
He dropped the mark.
Could have been a bit high by Nash.
All he had to do was drag his jumper. If it wasn't a mark, could have been holding the ball.
I think he was appealing for holding the ball, actually, the Richmond player.
So a bounce inside 50, right half forward. Manton jostles. Wins the tap down. Campbell, high kick. Barely travels the required distance. Player dragged down there at Wanganeen. No free kick for it. Knights and Buick, the two stars. Buick looking for a free kick.
The interesting thing, it was Mark Thompson that cleared from the goal square. He put his body between Herman and the ball and got it away. That's experience and that's strength.
Boundary throw in, close to centre wing, just on Richmond's attacking side of centre. Jackson does battle with Manton. Jackson wins it with the hand pass, not a good one. Might be a turnover here. Northey wouldn't be happy with that. Lambert racing for it. The boundary line will suit Richmond, I think, before Young can get there. And Essendon, though, making about 30 metres this time to throw in right in the middle of the interchange area on centre wing.
Well, full marks to Richmond because really for 3 quarters they have not played well. They've lifted a cog here. Socket off the ground by Campbell. Grenville caught with it. Loses the ball in the tackle. Strong tackling by Lambert. In goes Chris Danaher. A quick hand pass in close. Here's Mercury. He goes to ground. Gets in a hand pass. Masidi in towards half forward. A one-on-one contest. The ball hits the deck. Patura backing himself, and he's got to soccer it off the ground. Here's Tony Free. He tries to boot it. Free kick. Holding the man. Will go to Tony Free at half back. Free, a tough, hard, rugged player. Bremen is a long kick. He's got to kick it. Oh! Free gets in a hand pass. Bremen is a long kick. He must use that kicking skill. Here's Mercury. Mercury looking for a hand pass inside. The run races on for the ball. Masidi again. Masidi caught with the ball. A great tackle. Umpire calls play on. And what will happen here? Another free kick to Richmond. And they're being rewarded for persistence.
Wanganeen's gone on to Herneman too. They've taken Thompson off, who's a little bit slow on Herneman.
Chira's kicked it, but it's going to come back. Clock stands still, 11 and a half minutes to go in the match.
And Thompson's moved on to Waitman.
Telling Howard where to kick at Bremen. And he does, out to Barry Young, who's certainly lifted in this last quarter. He's got to get around Mercury. Does that, ultimately, kicks to half forward. The target was Nash, but the ball taken over the boundary line for Essendon by David Grenville, and it'll be thrown in 80 metres from goal.
Derek Kickett warming up for Essendon. He's about to come on.
12 points the difference. Harvey and Jackson. One by Harvey. Menegola. Campbell. Right on the boundary line. He was out. The ball was in. O'Donnell in front. Can't mark. Now a chance for Richmond. The flea. One-on-one contest. Knights are just too far underneath it. Couldn't take the mark. Buick, great pressuring. And finally wins out. That was excellently done as he got it away from Wayne Herneman. Bauer. And the Bomber defence tries to tie it up and does it successfully. 65 metres from goal.
Well, that's twice. There's Derek Kickett coming onto the... Well, he's about to come on. But twice Dale Waitman at the end of the 3rd term and in this term has broken away, and no forward has run at him for the easy chip pass. It could be very costly in the context of this game. Here's Campbell. Good play. Bauer sprints clear. 40 metres from goal, and Nathan Bauer has kicked it across his body and through for a behind.
Landy coming off and kick it on.
Now his first score.
Good handball by Campbell to get it across to Bauer.
O'Donnell goes in short. Moves over Long. Played a great game again, Michael Long. Left half back. Thought he was trying to find Kickett. Might have been better leaving it for Kickett, Sean Denham.
We had 3 players there. Essendon.
Gee, if Richmond get the next goal, it'll be on, won't it?
They're the biggest Tiger roar in 10 years. Jackson with Harvey. Lambert. Harvey a second chance and a third. Finally shuffled out of the pack. Waitman, will he gather it just inside the boundary line? He does. Beautifully done by the Tiger veteran. Oh, superb. The skills are still there. Campbell, can he kick a goal? 65 metres out, goes goal! And has kicked only a behind. Gee, there's some long kicks at goal tonight.
Wasn't that well done by Dale Waitman? That was just fantastic stuff. Also good play by that man, number 9 on screen, Campbell, because there was nobody up at the goal square. He had to go long.
Yeah, but no, but where is the forward? That's
because they're running down the ground to get involved in the play.
The forward ought to be back in the square when the player's coming forward. He should be able to lead and chip it into him. It's an easy goal. The poor forward work by Richmond. It's happened 3 times.
Gary O'Donnell to kick in. 9.5 minutes left in the match. Alessio and Schaefer. And O'Donnell goes short. He finds Denham. Speaking of short, Denham marking just up from the back pocket.
Sean Denham. Pressure on the Bombers. Jackson. Mark to Jackson.
He's got some ability.
And give Jackson his due. He's had his poor night, but in this term, he has really lifted. He brings it in towards centre half. What is an easy mark coming up, I think. No, the mark has dropped. The dangerous player is Waitman. Now he chips it across. Will this be a mark? Again, that poor forward work. Should have been a gimme. As Wanganeen takes it on the boundary line. Chips it around and he has found Ridley. But that was too easy for the Bombers when Richmond were in control of the ball.
Might be a crucial turnover too. Young underneath it. Bullis tries to fist it towards the boundary line. In the meantime, has given away a free kick.
We didn't give credit to O'Donnell. O'Donnell chipped in there. Herneman was going to take an easy chest mark from that kick from Waitman. Yeah, but it was good play by O'Donnell to get his fist across.
Yeah, but the kick was a poor one by Waitman.
Yeah, well, what else? Well, Herneman was going to mark the thing had he have not got O'Donnell got his fist to it.
Somerville gets his boot to it. Just over 8 minutes left in this match. Kickett tries to fist it clear. Knights is there. Over to Bremen. Menegola in front. Knocked away by David Grenville. Back to Campbell. And now the Tigers are going to get clear. Bremen, who's been solid all night, the former West Coast Eagle, kicks down towards half forward. Marking contest down there. The ball spilt. Out in the front is O'Donnell. And that's a fine mark. Sean Denham, the former Geelong Rover. Denham at midfield to put Essendon into attack. Looking for Kickett. He's recovered from injury. Kickett spears the pass into Cransburg at left half forward.
Too easy, not tight enough, Richmond.
Oh,
look at this.
Bad manning up. Markle free kick.
That should be right on the goal square.
But that's what I'm trying to say. At the other end of the ground, it did not happen when Richmond had a
because the Essendon defenders know what it's about and they will man up.
Ridley.
Everybody was behind on the Richmond side as that ball came down.
Todd Ridley kicked 2 goals, both in the first quarter. I think he might have hooked that one. We're waiting the goal umpire. And he has done, so 1 behind. His tally for the night is 2 goals, 2. That's his first score of the second half. 79 plays 90. 11 points the difference. Plenty of time for Richmond if it's good enough. Just over 7 minutes left in the match. Patura to bring the ball back. Schaefer makes a lead. Alessio goes with him. Towards him. Here, Bullis.
Good mark.
Great grab.
Was it ever?
He's a goer, this fellow. There's not much polish about him.
Paul Bullis. Running back with the flight of the ball. Is that Barry Young? Yeah, he should try and punch it on. That's all. Straight to Buick. Bad luck. His idea was right. A wobbly kick to centre wing, and a tired-looking Todd Menegola goes after it. 6 3/4 minutes of play left in this match.
You've got to get another goal quickly, Pete.
Well, they had their chances, didn't they, at the other end? 11-13 to 12-18. They get the next one. Will be on for Young and Old. Somerville takes front position. Barry Young, cleverly done. Todd Menegola showing a lot of skill on the left foot. He brings it to centre wing. At the back, Wakeman, 2 bites of the cherry. Well done as it comes to Knights. That's from Jackson. Matthew Knights around the corner to the half-forward line. The one-on-one contest. Good play, Gavin Wanganeen. Still going after it, Wanganeen.
Desperate
Players
stuff,
charging after it. Free kick. Holding the ball against Jeff.
No, that's fair enough, too.
Turn it up.
That is fair enough.
Absolute rubbish.
He trapped the ball. Watch this on replay.
Right, he goes to ground. Now have a look.
Yeah, okay. Now watch
dives on the ball, dives on top of him, and that's a free kick against Hogg.
Well, he made no attempt to get rid of the ball.
What could he do?
Try.
Yours between you two. Alessio palms it to the back. It went to the opposition, though. Clock ticking down under 6 minutes now. Position at half forward. Oh, this is a chance they want. Naish gets run down, gets buried. He's got a second chance. Runs straight at the ball. Kicked away from him.
He's injured, isn't he, Wakeman?
Wakeman, Lambert gives the hand pass away. Hogg's there, gets tackled
free
too
kick,
high.
Hogg.
Not this time.
He doesn't look injured. He looked a little bit proper than Dale Wakeman as he got the ball.
He's had a few injury problems in the last few seasons from Jeff Hogg, the Tiger captain. Oh, gee, he's holding the ball here again, holding it to him, isn't he? Interesting one. Might have got a nudge in the back, but play continues. Richmond's forward line has been on the forward line for the Tigers most of the match. Kick out of bounds on the full. So, from Jackson. Free to Essendon. Last line of defence. 5 minutes left in the game. Wanganeen or Harvey. Debating whether who's going to take it. And that's going to be Wanganeen. 2 goals quickly.
Those are the little areas where Richmond have got to tighten up.
Experienced talent gone perhaps in the final term. Danaher kicks long. Mercury underneath it. Bullis punches down to him.
Now, what is that holding the ball?
No, he was trapped. He was trapped there.
Oh, that's unlike the Hogg one before, was it?
The Bombers warming up.
Hill's warming up pretty well. Time might beat the Tigers.
Half-forward flank. They need to get it out of the scrimmage. There's Jackson almost through it. There's Wakeman. He goes to ground. Played for the free kick. Around the corner goes Knights. He has been magnificent. Harvey back with a fight. So's Wanganeen. Hogg playing for the free kick. Threw it out. Oh, yes, he did. He scooped it up. That's a throw. Good umpiring. No doubt about that one. Harvey to the half-back line. Alessio. And it rolls over the line. Now, Richmond have 4 minutes in which to win this game, but they have to kick 2 goals.
That'd be pretty hard. Mercury off the ground. 79 to 90. Ball on Richmond's attacking side of centre, but only just. Jackson taps it down. Lambert. Hills. Young. Menegola just about threw it over the top. It went to the opposition, so it's turned over. Hills. A real grubber, not really to the advantage of his side. Bullis goes down. Essendon had the numbers. That could have been a free kick for around the neck. And in fact, it doesn't go to Masiti. It goes to Hurd. He's been brilliant tonight. He's kicked 4 goals, 5. Marking contest. Oh, Derek Kickett at the back. This could be the sealer. Kicks a goal. Essendon will win. Kickett kicking his first goal of the night, and it will be the one that buries the Tigers. 11-13 to 13-18. They need to kick 3 goals now, Richmond, and that's just about an impossibility.
Well, it's Bremen, Todd Bremen, who is Kickett's man. Look how far Bremen is behind. You've really got to tighten up.
Very relaxed-looking Kevin Sheedy. They were under enormous pressure there for a few minutes, but the Bombers have hit back after that goal by Kickett. Well, 17 points the margin now. Very, very difficult for Richmond. They've been valiant in this last term. There's Hurd. Oh, clever little kick by Hurd. Grenbold goes, no, it's Hills going to ground, and he's got a free kick. Paul Hills. But, oh, he's kicked into the man. Now Buick. Buick backed up beautifully, Darren Buick. About. He braces. Oh, he breaks the tackle. He bounces again. Terrific play by Buick. On the Hurd, can he kick his 5th goal? He steadies, and James Hurd has slammed it through for goal number 5. The Bombers are home.
2 in the last half. He's got 5 goals, 5. James Hurd.
He certainly knows where a player is. He picks them out. He was responsible for getting that ball down before when kick it goal. And he knows where the big sticks are here, Hurd. Just the one step straight through the centre. A youngster
with a great future.
My word, he has.
Kicked 6 goals, I think it was, against Hawthorn in a practice match. He's kicked 5 goals, 5 here tonight. Essendon lead 14-18 to 11-13, so it's going to be Kevin Sheedy's 4th night premiership with the Bombers. That's a pretty good effort. Hill was getting ridden into the ground, then applies a tackle, and it's going to be a bounce. No, it's not. It's going to be a Richmond free kick on right centre wing for the Tigers. Bremen. Good shepherd by Lambert to keep Grenvold at bay. Up to half forward, Harvey underneath it, Hogg at the back. Herneman couldn't take it. Hogg, the captain, tries to lead by example, but Essendon again having the numbers in defence. That's been the story in this last quarter, because Richmond's attacked repeatedly, long to O'Donnell, and the second time in the quarter Gary O'Donnell goes educatedly for the boundary line, this time on the outer side. Previously it was to the members' stand flank. Todd Menegola sitting the bench with 2 minutes 11 left in this match. The Tigers winning 3 in the Foster's Cup, but losing the grand final. A splendid effort, a great start for the season nonetheless for them. 75,500 fans have seen what has been a pretty good match.
Well, they really dominated the game for 3 quarters, the Bombers, didn't they? And it's only been this term that Richmond have got on top, and Essendon have been good enough to come back again. Half forward, Howard is there. Now, I thought that came off Howard's hands, but they marked the Hurd. He's been a fine young player. He's kicked 5, but he's just so promising. There's Knights, very cleverly done. On to Francis. Matthew Francis has not kicked well tonight, and that's another absolute shocker. And Essendon have looked far more dangerous when they go into attack right throughout the night than what Richmond have. Jeff Hogg's been well held. Jackson was well held. Was taken off the ground.
Jackson played well in the last quarter.
But for 3 quarters he was right out of it. So they've had trouble kicking goals up there, Richmond.
Minute and a half to go. This is Bullis. Remember that Neil Barm carried with distinction for many years. Got the bulk of Barmy. Campbell comes away with the ball, but he better give it back, otherwise he'll concede 50 to Bomber Thompson. It's a possession game now.
This is just playing possession game. They want to see the clock tick down.
Buick to Chris Danaher. With Neil sitting on the sidelines. The Bomber coaching panel, Gary O'Donnell. You'll see him play a poor game. Donald and Buick, by gee, he's been absolutely tremendous and very dangerous close to goal. And he'll score. Can he make it 6? Gets the chance, but it went begging. Couldn't gather the clean possession that he wanted, and so we will see a ball up some 25 metres out from goal. So a good start by the Bombers to the year. Likewise for the Tigers. It's going to be a Bomber premiership, though. And the siren rings shortly. Ridley can get a kick at it, a fresh air shot. Denham and Lambert.
Denham's done an excellent job on Lambert.
Pretty hard to keep him contained for 100 minutes of football, isn't it?
Well, Richmond relies so much on Craig Lambert. He gets the hard ball and gets it out to running players.
He had so many opportunities. Siren just about imminent. Schaefer, there it is, taps down. And Essendon has won the Foster's Cup for 1993. Defeating Richmond 14-18, 102. The Tigers 11-13, 79. Maybe mixed feelings for Kevin Sheedy against his old team. He played 251 games for the Tigers, but of course with Essendon, he's now won his 4th night premiership and a thoroughly deserved one tonight against a team, I'm sure, Pete, he's going to be one of the real improvers for 93.
Yes, full marks to Richmond there. They are the happy Bombers. They were the form side of the night competition, or the Foster's Cup competition, I should say. Full marks to Richmond for coming back so hard, making a contest in the last term. There's a disappointed Dale Waitman. He actually lifted them when he came on the ground. Good effort by the captain, but at the end, Essendon far too good. The Bombers, at the end of the match, have won 14 goals, 18, 102 for the Tigers, 11-13, 79.
Essendon are the Foster's Cup champions for 1993 as we go down now for the presentations with Mike Williamson.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, well, what a Foster's Cup grand final. In front of a record crowd, I think first of all we should thank the Tigers, Richmond, for such a spirited performance. Well done, Tigers. We're about to make the presentation of the Michael Tuck Medal for the best player in the Foster's Cup Grand Final. To make that presentation, would you welcome a legend of the game, former Hawthorn champion, Michael Tuck. Give him a big welcome. And the winner of the Michael Tuck Medal, Gavin Wanganeen of Essendon. Stay there, Gavin. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the presentation of the Foster's Cup for 1993. Would you please welcome to the microphone the Managing Director of Carlton and United Breweries, Mr. Pat Stone, to make the presentation. And now would you please welcome the captain of Essendon and the coach of Essendon. I refer to Mark Bomber Thompson and Kevin Sheedy.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a fantastic game, what a fantastic crowd. Well done to Neville Crowe, John Northey, Jeff Hogg and everybody in Richmond for getting this far and having a fantastic game. They can go one further next year. Well done, and CUB's congratulations to David Shaw, Kevin Sheedy, Mark Thompson and everybody at Essendon for winning the Foster's Cup 1993.
I'd like to thank the players. They did a terrific job tonight. I'd like to also thank Richmond. There has to be a winner and there has to be a loser, and that was Richmond tonight. I'd like to say thank you to the club. We've really developed a lot of young players and they're going to be great for our future. And last of all, I'd like to thank all you Essendon supporters. We've got one more to add to the collection.
Good on you, Bomber. And I guess you Essendon fans would like, and Richmond fans, would like to hear from the coach, Kevin Sheedy, would you? Go on, Sheeds. Well done, the baby Bombers came through for you.
I'm very pleased with the way the club have really worked hard and developed a group of people off the ground to give these young players the opportunity to advance as quick as we can help them. And it's been a great decision over the last 12 months regarding our coaching structure. We realise that we're in for a hard game tonight. The mighty Tigers out there, congratulations on their great effort too. And probably, well, I was pleased to play Richmond because I know the two great clubs represented the Foster's Cup in this match tonight. Thank you very much.
Gavin, before you go, give us a smile. All right, we're going to ask the mighty Bombers now to do a lap of honour, and I'm sure you'll give them a big roar when they come around. You're going to do the lap of honour with them, Sheeds? Too old? I agree with you. Righto, boys.
So the Bombers will commence their lap of honour in just a moment. They led at every change, 8 points at quarter time, 18 at the long break. They stretched that to 22 at three-quarter time and finished up winning by 23. And I know the season has started because I was listening to the commentary and it was great to hear Pete and Don getting upset and getting stuck into it. Pete, looking back at it, the Tigers had their chances, didn't they, in that last quarter?
Well, yes, Scott and I had a little disagreement about the forward setup. I just felt that 3 or 4 times at a vital situation in the last term when Richmond were going forward and players broke clear on their own, there was just no forward who made a legitimate attempt to make a lead to a space. And I reckon that was costly in the long run where they had to blaze away a goal. And but as Don said, Essendon are a very experienced defensive side. They had some great players there. Bomber Thompson, Wanganeen was down there, and they've been through it all before, haven't they?
Yeah, the Richmond side made some real elementary mistakes. I go back to the first quarter on centre wing here. Matthew Knights, we sung his problems all night, but when he went for a mark, he just happened to duck the head at a critical moment, knowing players were coming from behind, and that swept the ball away again. And Nathan Bow got the ball, and centre wing, third quarter, spotted 5 Essendon players to 1 Richmond. Elementary mistakes. Then their backmen were behind at critical times. They could have won it, but those mistakes they'll learn from, I hope.
Right, gentlemen. gentlemen, take a breath and we'll be back after this break. Welcome back. The Bombers are champions for 1993 in the Foster's Cup. They've completed their lap of honour. Gavin Wanganeen has won the Michael Tuck medal. He's an extraordinarily brilliant player, and we look forward to seeing him in the weeks ahead as the AFL season commences next week. With me, Don Scott and Peter McKenna. Don, a question to you, a serious question. Would you like a bit of a laugh?
Well, yes, and it's been a very dull night sitting next to my friend on the left.
Well, your friend on the left may just be able to give you one, and because, Pete, it's time to have a look at what we normally call plays of the month, but this time he's concerned the plays of summer.
I'm very concerned.
Here we go. Just when you thought it was safe to turn the telly back on, they're back. Plays of the month. And how pre-season footy has changed. The Dogs were coming out of the sky. The Hawks went bush to Puckapunyal, and we saw Jason Dunstall as never before.
In! Smash! Hit! In!
While the Crows are taking a more mechanical view of the 93 season. To the Foster's Cup action, and unfortunately, some just couldn't get going. The Lions and Tigers have provided some early season headaches, particularly Lambert and Armstrong. And on the subject of headaches, Michael Murphy could thank umpire Chris Mitchell for one. Tim McGrath had his own liberal view of the GST, a good strong tackle, while Marcus Seacamp laboured hard to upset the Bulldogs. As always, the Foster's Cup provided some great aerial work, and Mark Richardson's grab was a ripper, and Darren Jarman's gutsy mark a screamer. Not that brother Andrew would have noticed it, if you don't mind umpire. Tim Watson has decided against a career directly in front of camera. He's returning to Windy Hill. One man who is not returning is former crooner and part-time bathtubber Peter McKenna. Unceremoniously dumped, his spot was snapped up. Who by? Well, his name was Bernie, and he drove the fastest bathtub in the West. Well, not quite.
All right, oh, he's doing very well.
Well, he's still there. Let's put it that way.
Well, no, Bernie's gone in. This is turning into
well, McKenna wasn't that bad after all.
Peter McKenna, where are you? We need you back. I think I was worse than Peter McKenna. I'm sorry for everything I said.
I wonder if Peter McKenna would be interested in a comeback. That's for bathtubbing, by the way, not singing.
You know I like to smile all the while. Smile!
What do you think,
Thanks
Pete?
very much. You can't help yourself, can you? Fair dinkum.
No. Get me in there.
I wasn't so bad after watching Bernie, was I? Why weren't you in it this year?
It's too good.
Any chance of more single?
No, John Deeks takes it very seriously. He's sacked me forever. He won't have me again, Sandy.
Well, I did hear a whisper that you went into a studio with Bob Davis this last week, and there was a song concerned. Am I not correct?
You are quite right, and Teddy Whitten and Greg Champion. So they're going to be on.
Oh, I think that's something to look forward to in the weeks ahead, particularly a lot of the outtakes. But thank you very much. Let's have a look. I mentioned that Gavin Wanganeen won the Michael Tuck medal. Fantastic performance by Gavin. Let's have a look at his stats for the night. 20 kicks. Look at that first quarter. 20 kicks overall, couple of hand passes, 9 marks, and he reminds me a little bit like sort of a cross between a Ken Hunter and a Robbie Flower with his aerial work. But Don, let's have a look at his first quarter stat track, and you can give us an idea of his performance.
Well, we see there, Sandy, I was going to mention a couple of things that didn't show on those stats, and that's his ability to run. You can see there how he's ventured down into the forward line on the left-hand side of the square there, but he also goes deep on a lot of other occasions, and that's terrific running from a backline player, especially a full backline player. Really does put the pressure on, and his immediate opponent was Chris Nash, who didn't pick him up on a number of occasions.
And during the commentary, Robbo mentioned about the Brownlow medal chance. Well, I know Kevin Shetty wouldn't like us talking like that, but he is a genuine superstar of the game and will be for many years, Don.
Right. Don't go away, we've got lots more coming your way. Tiger coach John Northey down, but certainly not out. Here he is in the rooms with Bernie Quinlan.
Well, John, bad luck. A disappointing result, but you must be enormously proud of what the Tigers have achieved over the Foster Cup competition.
Well, from that point of view, Bernie's been very, very good. However, you know, I'm sure everybody's disappointed like I am. The players particularly disappointed. And I just felt through the game we could have won the thing in the last few minutes, let's say. But, you know, I suppose the one thing we have got out of tonight is a great learning experience with the crowd and the boys playing under extreme pressure and in front of a big crowd.
Yeah, great experience. 75,000 people here to see the game tonight, John. You had your chances even in that last term. You got to 12 points and Chris Nash running into an open goal.
Yes, it was just disappointing. Somebody ran across in front of him and, you know, we had opportunities to kick one or two there, and perhaps the boys' vision, they just didn't see the player that was on his own. But, you know, that's football. I mean, kick out of the pack last week that we got, the same sort of thing happened. So it's just in reverse. But, I mean, to come as far as they have, I must say I'm tremendously proud of them.
Yeah, well, tremendous effort, John, to get this far in the competition. It's good to see the Tigers are back and roaring in 1993.
Well, you know, the thing is, Bernie, we can't get carried away with what we've done. We've only had we've had 3 wins and 1 loss now. We've got to regroup and get ready for the start of the season now that this is over. And I suppose the boys are certainly disappointed about it, but we've got to push that behind us very, very quickly and look towards our first game next week.
All right, thanks for that, John, and good luck for the 1993 competition.
Thanks, Bernie.
Yes, their program begins on Sunday, but of course the AFL season for home and away begins on Friday night. Footscray and Collingwood. It's a big day on Saturday and then 2 games on Sunday. But tonight, the night belongs to Essendon as we say farewell.